Test, test, test. What it do, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's going on, y'all? We are doing more debates today. We are doing friendly debates. And if you are a Trump supporter, hop on up and tell me why you like Trump. What's going on, y'all? Chat, tap the screen for me. If you're a fellow liberal, tap that screen. Let's send this out to more people, and let's get some debates going. How are we feeling about today's threat of war crimes coming from the president? How do we feel about that? Well, welcome, social. Happy Monday. What's going on, y'all? It is Sunday. Australia lives in the future. I know. I saw Liam on. I saw him on Dean's live. Liam's such a fucking goofball, dude. He's such a goofball. Yellow.
Yo, hello. Hi, hello.
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
You look like the product of incest, like a mother and father who loved each other a little too much.
I mean, it could be. They were MAGA.
So your parents are MAGA?
Yeah.
So they were brother and sister who fucked to have you.
Hey, Clorox, do you have anything you want to talk about in regards to politics?
Yeah, I'll smack the shit out of you.
Sure, bud.
You sure, bud? You know it's true.
You got some big feelings? Do you need to talk to somebody about it?
You seem to have some big teeth.
You got me.
And a pretty big chin, too. Call you the Crimson Chin. I wonder what it's going to feel like when my left hand connects.
Probably gonna hurt your hand, bud.
Yeah, probably, with that big-ass chin.
Hey, man, do you have anything you want to share with us in politics?
What's that cleft on, like, the middle of your lip there?
That's where one of my uncles threw a beer bottle at me when I was 11.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're one jacked up motherfucker, aren't you? You're just jacked up all over, ugly as hell. Your father threw a beer can at you when you were 6.
Do you have anything you want to talk about with politics, or are you just making sure that you can diss me and you feel superior?
I think you're a square-headed dweeb.
Okay. Are you Christian? You sound Christian.
Why would I sound Christian?
Because you're hateful and dumb.
I'm hateful and dumb. And you're just ugly.
Sounds Christian to me.
Yeah. I'll smack the shit out you.
Checks out. Definitely Christian.
I mean, would I not?
I don't know, bub. Could you reach me? I'm 6'4".
Hold on a second. Let me cam up. Do you put guests on the big screen with you, or is that strictly a permission granted to the Crimson Chin only?
No, I can't really. I don't really have. I don't feel comfortable with y'all turning your cameras on too often. It's usually just a bunch of dudes trying to reveal their genitals.
Okay, so fair enough, right? You're 6'4". How much do you weigh?
About 200.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you're a petite guy.
If that's what you would call it. Do you do you,
No,
do you
no.
want
It
to
is.
do
No,
you
it is
do
what
you
I'm
want
calling
to
it.
do you
It
want to
is
talk
what I'm
about
calling
politics, or are you just here to insult me? Because
it is
I
what I'm calling it. If you're
I just
6'5" and
if you want to talk about politics, you're welcome to. But
we're
if
not
you're
even
just up here
230.
to do some like rap battle disses, then
We're
I'm
not
not
even
here for it, dude.
230. You're petite.
I'm here to talk to adults. Here to talk to adults, y'all. If you're an adult, you want to have an adult conversation, hop on up. S&P record highs. Did you check? Did you check? Did you check recently? The Strait is closed again. I didn't get my sushi yesterday. I did not get my sushi yesterday. I got buffalo mac, and I also got some mussels. They were like sautéed in jalapeno brine. It's delicious. Yeah, the buffalo mac was fucking delicious. Chat, if you're a Trump supporter and you want to debate, hop in the box. I love how MAGA continues to prove that they're just primal, brainless, meathead, egotistical wieners. Fragile. Fragile. The things that people come up and say to try to hurt your feelings are the exact things that would hurt their feelings. Like if I called that dude ugly, I'm sure he would just punch drywall.
Hello.
Yellow.
How are you?
Doing good. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am a Trump supporter.
Cool. What do you like about Trump?
I think that there's a sound argument in favor of the proposition that MAGA is the best political theory, and there's reasons to justify that claim.
I would love to know how you would indicate how something would be the best, but go ahead.
Yeah, so there's like reasons in favor of affirming that MAGA is the best political theory. One in specific would just be, the idea of reducing the number of elective abortions, which is something that Trump is in favor of. Another thing would just be like trans individuals. I don't affirm the proposition that trans women are men. I mean, trans women are women or trans men are men.
Okay. Do you understand what what a gender is?
Gender?
Yeah. What's a
I would just
gender?
gender is just going to be this thing that's it's biological under my worldview, so it's just going to be like the
Under your
individual.
worldview. So
Yeah,
okay.
that's how it
Well,
works.
you know, there's
So
other countries and other cultures that believe differently than you.
yeah, but I can debate the people of them and then find logical inconsistencies within their position, as I'm about to do to yours.
Okay.
Not
So
just a
you
brainless metaphor,
want
but
to legislate your norms for pronouns or for genders. You want to
I think
legislate that?
yeah. So my norms, typically Trump's position is in favor of the way that I see it, and I think that holding the opposite position leads to vicious circularity.
Do you believe that there's also the similar type of inconsistencies in logic when we talk about Christianity?
I don't really care. I'm not a Christian.
Well, the people on your side have brought you this social wedge issue because they're Christian, and
All right.
they don't want you to pay attention to the fact that they too believe in some weird stuff, such
You
as
think
like
that
the age of the
necessitates that I
earth.
have to be a Christian in order from the trans women are not women?
No, I'm just saying that for some reason this bothers you, our use of genders on the left
Well, I brought
or
up another
worldly.
point. Would you like to talk about abortions?
No, I just want to crush you on this real quick. You
Okay,
are sitting
wonderful.
here advocating for the side that also believes in fairy tales, right? Like there's a 2,000-year-old book that they have they use to confuse themselves on the age of the
That
earth.
doesn't follow. That doesn't follow at all.
The creationism theory.
Then that doesn't follow.
What doesn't follow?
It doesn't follow that just because you're MAGA necessitates that you must be a Christian or
Yeah, but I'm not saying that
MAGA
that's true. I'm saying that
becomes
the
towards
people on
Christianity.
your side, the people
Right,
on your
the
side of
people-
the aisle believe all of these things, but the outermost thing, the thing, the forefront of your mind is pronouns or genders. and they've brainwashed you
That's
with
not the most.
this.
I said abortion was the main thing that I brought up.
So
That was the
you
second thing
admit
I
that
brought
this
up.
is a dumb conversation
No,
to
it's not
have
a dumb.
about
It's not a dumb conversation.
genders?
You just said that this is my number one reason for why I voted for Trump. It's that, well, I didn't vote for Trump because I couldn't vote because I'm only 18 years old. But yeah, it's
So
just the
are you
case that
guys going to
this
drop the
isn't.
whole gender thing then? I would love
No, we
that.
can talk about the gender thing, but it's not the most important reason why I support Trump. We
Okay.
can still talk about this. You just said that it's the if this is the biggest reason why you voted for Trump. It's not.
Okay.
It's one reason I gave you. The biggest
Okay.
reason would be abortions.
So you admit you were kind of tricked into thinking that was a big deal.
No, you just became extremely pedantic, right? By saying that, oh, well, just because I held to this position because I thought that I'm in favor of Trump's position, that, oh, this is automatically the main reason why I'm in support of Trump. That doesn't follow. I never made that claim. I said this is one reason I do support him, but the main reason would be his
Abortion.
policies or like his position is going to be in favor of reducing the number of elective abortions.
I don't even
How
think
does that
that's
feel?
his
Wait,
policy. I don't think that's his
but
position
never.
anymore, is
Well,
it?
I said, yeah, his position would be in favor of reducing the number of elective abortions because leaving it up to the states would raise the probability of reduction in abortions, given the fact that states can choose to.
I would argue that in almost every one of those states, that at least 60% of the people there believe in abortion and believe in pro-choice, and then every single one of those states has created a circumstance where people are just stuck with these laws against their will.
Again, first of all, I think that that's completely fine. I'm okay with these laws being implemented. I think that we value human life because from the moment of conception, the fetus would have a biological function that's geared towards phi, just being a variable in system alpha. So just have like
Say that again.
Trajectory. Yeah, so it's gonna have a trajectory towards being a rational agent, and what I mean by that, it has a biological.
Has a
function.
trajectory towards being a rational agent.
Yeah, it has a trajectory towards being a rational agent. So it has a future the same way that you and me have a future. The same way me and you are speaking, we necessarily had to exist, 9 months ago or 2 years ago in order to have this conversation right now.
Mm-hmm.
The same way that a baby must once have been a fetus, an embryo, a zygote, whatever. Those are all preconditions in order for the following conditions to come. And, they have that trajectory towards being a rational agent. And it has future subjective experiences, which is true of both the fetus and, a sentient human being outside of the womb.
Okay. So my only hangup is I don't really value future potential the same way that you do, because in the same way that you can say there's going to be some positive future potential, there's also the same equal chance of there being negative future potential. And this is also hinging on the cooperation and the resources of another agent. So I don't think there's anywhere else in life where you can force somebody to like hand over their resources or their livelihood or free labor just because somebody has a future ahead of them.
Well, just regardless of positive or negative future potential, the idea is that humans thrive to live, right? So if we just take like the amount of humans that have lived, since I don't know, thousands and thousands of years ago, let's say the rough estimate would be 100 billion people. The fact that less than 1% of them committed, self-unalivings, obviously, and that would just be because of other reasons, right? It would automatically just raise the probability that humans do value life, or at least value their own lives.
Of course they do. Yeah, I don't argue they don't,
Yeah, exactly.
but I don't think
even
that
if
things
it does have a negative future trajectory.
things do not have things without without the ability to deploy consciousness. I don't really give those things moral consideration over somebody who already has that. So I don't think that people should be coerced into giving those things their resources.
I can still agree with you. I do not give, like, say, a zygote or even a fetus as much moral consideration as I do a sentient being living outside of the womb. I give the sentient being more moral consideration, but I would still give it enough moral consideration to the zygote, the fetus, or the embryo in order to, at least grant it, like, human rights.
I know, but it's not that easy, right? So in granting something just human rights, it's not just like that, right? It's like 9 months of labor and resources, right?
Well, that's going to necessarily follow for anyone that's choosing to have a child or not.
Okay, but I would say that people who are alive and breathing and can deploy consciousness right now are suffering because you're coercing them into giving these other things that have potential their resources.
But what do you mean by suffering?
I don't know. Do you like the idea of pushing like an 8-pound bowling ball out of one of your orifices?
I've never tried doing that.
Do you think it's pleasant? Do you think that you would be able to perform like self-defense if something other than you was causing that to happen?
Well, it depends, right? So I do give some sort of exceptions, right? This would be under my framework, right? Obviously, I'm not saying that this is true of the United States, but even if it's not true of the United States, it would still lend credence in my favor. So, like, suppose that I don't think that an individual that was raped should be having a sustained pregnancy.
I don't even have to use
Or
that. I don't care. I don't care. Every one of these
okay,
pregnancies result in like a C-section or pushing something out of the orifices
okay,
that can break their pelvis or rip, the stuff that going on down
yeah,
there.
okay, yeah, but that's yeah, exactly. So when it comes to like a medical, if you know it, like if you
This isn't
have
an
this,
exception.
if
This
the
happens
doctor's
every
telling you,
time.
well, okay, well then if it happens every single time, it's going to be true of the same woman that chooses to have this pregnancy, correct?
I don't think
Do you
people
think they should just
choose.
not have the pregnancy?
No, I think that pregnancy is the thing you should consent to every given moment of it, not just the beginning. So,
But you still had, like, for example, when you're making that decision of like, let's say even when you're not
I'm gonna
like
guess you're a
necessarily
virgin. Are you a virgin?
what's the relevance of that?
Because I feel like you have a very, I don't know, a very unexperienced, immature view of sex.
Uh,
I think like sex to you is this magical thing that if you partake, you just know the risk and you just know that you could be carrying a child to birth and then for 18 or 20 years also supporting it. Like nobody actually does all of that thinking before having sex.
Yeah,
I'm sorry?
that's. I said enough with the anecdotes. There's like no point of just like bringing up a bunch of irrelevant
This
topics.
I'm just
Did you
saying.
bring that up? Wait,
It,
did you bring that up because you realized that like you're getting absolutely flamed by an
absolutely
18-year-old
not.
MAGA, brainless MAGA?
You are brainless, and I think you've been getting
Yeah,
cooked this
I'm
whole
brainless and I'm
time.
cooking you.
You've
What does that
moved
make
your
you?
position like 3 times.
Yep, I'm glad I don't have a brain if it makes me as stupid as you.
I think you were the only one doing insults, right? I called you out for being a virgin, which I'm not shaming you for, but
No, I
you
don't care.
absolutely
That's not
don't
the
have
point.
a developed, like you haven't experienced this enough to weigh in on this conversation. I don't think.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm not married, right? So
You're not married? What does that mean? I'm not married.
yeah, so if I'm not married, I would never do that, right?
You wouldn't have sex before marriage?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Well, wait, why am I supposed to? Sorry, I actually have some
Are
values.
you're not religious though?
I never made that claim.
Okay. So you have ulterior motives, you're just leaving them out.
Sure.
Yikes.
That doesn't follow either, but anyways, we can stick back to the substance.
Who's getting cooked?
Wait, you think I'm getting cooked?
Yes.
That's funny. Anyways, wait, we can just like continue with the topic. So
Do we have a woman that wants to
to
come up and talk about this? I usually have a woman come up because it's
Oh,
just
yep,
kind of
because only women
dystopian.
have a right to talk about this.
It's just kind of dystopian. 2 men talking about women's rights here, and it
Oh.
seems like you've been kind of tricked into this whole ideology with a religion or a doctrine.
Wait, so would you say that men cannot be talking about men shouldn't
No.
be talking about pregnancy?
I'm not saying that. No,
Okay,
I'm just respectful.
all right. Well, you can bring up a woman. I'm sure they'd get cooked too.
I don't know. I think it's very typical of a 18-year-old to feel very cocky and whatever.
I don't feel cocky.
Absolutely,
being cocky
you seem
right now?
cocky.
You seem mad.
Hi, Gemini.
Hi, how's it going? I saw the cook this guy signal in the sky.
Well, I'm just a brainless MAGA, so it shouldn't be that hard.
It's typical.
Yep, sounds about right.
Yeah.
At least you're self-aware.
Yeah, sure.
Do you believe in self-defense in the event that something is being ejected from your body that's going to tear it open?
Depends on the circumstance.
What circumstance would it be okay something rip open your body against your consent?
If it has detrimental future harm, then I think that it would be okay in that case. But if it doesn't have detrimental future harm, then there's not going to be any problem.
What do you mean it has detrimental future harm?
Like, for example, when you're saying that, well, suppose that it hurts them. For example, if a woman, say, has to deliver a child, that they'll be in a wheelchair for the rest of their lives, right? Or they'll be paralyzed. Yeah, I think that
it
it's okay
hurts.
in that.
I'm
I'll
here
say
to
it's
tell
okay in
you.
that case.
That's
But if
the
it's
line
just,
for you?
typically delivering a baby and they'll be fine.
They'll
A
be
few months after
fine.
delivering a child.
Oh man, you'd be
Yeah, there's
fine
not gonna
too
be a
if I
problem.
shot you in the arm, right? Like you'd be fine.
Probably, yeah.
Do you think you should be able to defend yourself against that?
Yeah, I would defend myself against
So
that.
why that, and not the woman in pregnancy?
because I'm not making a commitment. I'm not committing myself towards that specific thing, right? So I didn't put myself in a position where I wanted to be in that.
I live in
like, you're the aggressor.
Texas. Debatably, every person
You're
in
the
Texas
aggressor in
does,
this
right?
case.
Like, if you live in Texas and gun
I know, but
culture
you're the
and gun
aggressor.
law allows everybody to have guns, you're
Yes,
essentially
you're the
in the
aggressor,
same.
right?
I'm sorry?
You're the aggressor. So if it is a case like, I don't know if you're bringing up like, say a woman getting raped. I think within that case, it's fine for the woman to get, an abortion.
I don't know how that's
given that there's gonna
relevant.
be psychological detrimental future harm.
I don't think that.
But
I don't think
wouldn't
that's
say that
relevant.
it's okay for like an individual who had consensual intercourse, right?
I think whether or not you have consensual intercourse, the effects of
Because they still had, they knew
I'm
that there's
sorry?
going to be a probability that they might get pregnant.
Do you know
no,
how prevalent postpartum depression is?
I don't really care about postpartum depression if the individual puts it on in themselves, right?
yikes. This is
But
where
that's
it comes.
exactly it. Is we're saying that if they're not quote unquote bringing it on themselves or consenting to this quote unquote commitment, that they should be able to choose. That's exactly what we're saying.
they were committed to this because
I
they
think
knew
this
that there was going to be a chance.
This all leads back to you fetishizing sex because of your religion.
It's like the same way when you drive a car. You know that there's a probability that you can get into an accident and die, right?
Yeah, but nobody's going to stop you. Nobody's going to stop you from.
But you're still gonna drive it. Right?
I know, but here's the parallel. When you're in a car accident, nobody stops you from seeking medical attention because you consented to that by jumping in a car.
That doesn't follow either. That's why there's medical insurance and car insurance.
I'm not saying that there's not medical insurance. Of course there's medical insurance, and that's why we have abortions too.
You're saying if it is a case that the individual dies, yeah, you'd committed yourself to that, right? You put yourself in that position.
Nobody goes, well, they knew what they were getting
There's
into.
a risk of pregnancy, but the point is that we should have the recourse and the ability to do something about that if we don't want to have a child.
No. There's the risk of pregnancy with the individual having willing intent of this possibility, and yeah, they should sustain pregnancy. But if it is the case that they're raped or did not have an intent of,
But that's what Pickles is saying. In the event of a car accident, they don't leave you bleeding on the pavement.
You willingly put yourself into that position. So yeah, you're going to have to deal with the consequences, knowing that. But obviously, the probability is really low.
Dealing with the consequences could look it could look like an abortion, right?
What?
Dealing with the consequences could also look like an abortion.
That doesn't follow. But
it does.
No, it doesn't.
Have you ever met a guy that's gotten a vasectomy to save people from getting abortions?
They can do what they want. But
have you ever met one? How common is that?
Mandated.
Why not?
Yeah, because both of the individuals will still have consent in having the intercourse. Right? So the woman can choose not to have intercourse with a person that did not get a vasectomy.
I'm 37 years old, and then I would say that the majority of people might feel the same. But I've had sex a lot, at least like 6 times, and none of those times was I trying to get somebody pregnant or have a child.
Still waiting for proof of this, by the way, but he says this all the time. I don't know.
How many of them were women?
All of them.
All right. Not trans women, right?
What if they were?
Well, I guess you have your axiological framework. Anyways, yeah, so we're not going to shift away from this topic. We're still going to continue with this topic.
No, I agree. We're not going to shift away. I want you to make the case. Excuse me.
It's my turn to
speak. No. You're trying to weasel away from what Pickle said. Make the case for me for why we can't mandate vasectomies.
Yeah, because both individuals, both consenting adults, would be in favor of having that consensual intercourse, right? So
no, I'm not talking
if they did not get a vasectomy, that there's a possibility that you can get pregnant, then you can refrain from having intercourse with them.
But prior to that, tell me again. This has something to do with when we get to the intercourse part.
Yes, it does. Because
prior to that, tell me why.
That would be a crime.
In the interest of preventing AB, tell me why we can't mandate vasectomies. Because again, there are tons of situations where it's not consensual. The pregnancy
because people want to have children. Because people want to have children.
You can still have children.
Who's people?
There are a lot of ways.
Who's people? Like, not everybody wants to have kids.
Yeah, the fact that the majority of people that get pregnant are not getting abortions, just so that more people would rather have children than not have children.
No, I would say the majority of people having sex don't want to get pregnant. I would say the majority of people having sex do not want to get pregnant.
No, but the people that follow through with it, as opposed to getting an abortion, and this is even like, well, Roe v. Wade was mandated, it was in place, right? we can just look at that since it was completely free for women to get abortions. Even in those cases, if you
It's
talk
not
about
even
the
true.
number of children that were born as opposed to the number of abortions that happened, the number of children that were born was vastly larger than the number of abortions that happened.
But that doesn't count all the people who had sex and didn't get pregnant at all.
Right. Well, and then
no, but the
again,
people that did get pregnant.
People who are looking to have, even if people are looking to have children eventually, most of the times that they engage in intercourse, they're not doing it for reproductive reasons.
Mm-hmm.
That's silly.
Okay, it doesn't matter because they're both committed. But then they both
To
have
what?
a commitment.
So what if it's just a one night stand?
That they can possibly get. Yeah, that they can.
There's no other animal on the planet besides like I don't know, like dolphins. Like they have sex for fun, right? Like the animals can't really control it though. Like it just feels good, and without the like overdeveloped social mechanisms we have in our brains, we would be doing the same thing. And whether or not I got someone pregnant, we would still do it because it feels good.
Wait, so if no woman wanted to do anything, you would rape them?
No, that's part of your ideology. Because
that's not a part of my ideology.
It is because you value the trajectory of a rational agent, right? Like
you can refrain yourself from
this also here. I'll make my case. A pregnant woman is worth more to you than a non-pregnant woman, right?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
A pregnant woman has more value than a non-pregnant woman to you, right?
Yeah, given that there's gonna.
And then there's one that has a trajectory for a rational agent, like the fetus inside, right?
So yeah, there'd be a fetus inside of it.
And leave it to the Christians to pick on somebody who stutters.
Well, you're making fun of me, calling me a brainless magtard or whatever.
I didn't say that word, but y'all mostly are, especially indoctrinated people.
Okay, so. Well, I'm probably one of the dumbest MAGAs you've met, right?
It's all a contest for last place.
Wait, did you find a logical inconsistency within my position?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you grape women, given that gives them the potential to deploy more consciousness?
Why would no? Because I'm not gonna do that. That's wrong.
Okay. Well, your Bible says that it's kind of chill. In fact, you would have to marry the person you did. Gemini, I love you. He got kicked TikTok guidelines.
Love that. Oh, okay. All right. TikTok booted him. That's fine. I was going to say W for whomever. W for TikTok TOS. Yeah. Well, and my other favorite thing is, by the way, the Bible verse that gives instructions for how to terminate a pregnancy in the event that it was maybe conceived improperly. That's a fun one. Are you familiar with that one?
Yeah. The water.
Bitter waters.
Yeah,
yep.
The bitter waters.
Yep. It's another fun one to have up your sleeve. Anyways. What a peach. But we didn't get to press him enough to really make him make the case for why we can't mandate vasectomies. I didn't get that from him.
Like, that would immediately save millions of lives, wouldn't it?
Sure.
Just millions.
Yeah. And you can put embryos on ice before you do it. We've got IVF at our disposal. So again, that's what tells me right there that they're disingenuous. To think that any of these guys, by the way, care about the babies. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking show me anything else in their lives that indicates that they care about the well-being?
Trump just defunded like a partnership with the Catholic Church that fed migrant children, foster children. And I saw Christians on Facebook just going, good.
Of course.
Oh,
of course.
Fuck.
It's so disingenuous. It's that none of these people have real principles. And you can hear it. You can smell it with the Phil bros. Did you find an axiomatic logical inconsistency in what I'm saying? You don't believe in anything. You don't actually care.
Christian, I know you. Sorry, it's all good.
Not all Christians.
I want to say thank you to Christian. Thank you for $25, bro. This dude is a virgin guaranteed and talking about AB. Go have a scare and then come back and talk. Ooh. God, dude. He's religious of some sort. I don't care if it's Christian or not. I pick on all of them just the same. I think they're doing everything they can to oppress the rights of people in the United States, and it's gross.
Yeah. Well, and look, I part of the reason I don't mind talking to these people too is I like Jesus. think he's a good guy. Like, would I call myself, could I be called a Christian? I don't know. I mean, I'm considered so heretical by any of them. But I'm a cradle Catholic. I was raised Catholic, by the way. And it just blows my freaking mind. Like, what book are they reading? The Christian nationalists. Go back and read the Gospels and read the red text again. Read the Beatitudes where it says, blessed are the peacemakers, blessed are the poor, blessed, and he never says anything, by the way. Abortion never comes up once. Homosexuality doesn't come up once in the Gospels, but he has a lot to say about rich men. So I just don't understand. I don't understand how you can read the Gospels. And again, having been raised in a ridiculous, socialist church in California, it blows my mind. But I'm glad to see some Catholics speaking up against all of this. Yeah. And again, I'm a heretic, so I can't pretend to speak for them, but
Well, much love. Thank you for coming up.
yeah. Okay. Much love. Everyone have a nice day.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Chat, if you're a Trump supporter and you want to debate, hop in the box. Hello? Charlie? Maybe an accident. Sushi Fund on PayPal. Oh, shit. Who sent me a sushi fund? Yo, Martin, thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much. Mal and ZU, thank you. Chat, I do have a Cash App and PayPal in the bio, the link in my profile. If you guys are trying to support me, or if you're trying to kick somebody, it's $40. Thank you so much, everybody, for tapping. We're almost at 50K already. And don't forget to give me a follow. We're still looking for more MAGA. If you're a Trump supporter somehow, still hop on in the box. It's crazy that in this person's worldview, it wouldn't matter how bad it got. Like, he would live under authoritarianism, he would live under a dictatorship or theocracy just so that women couldn't use abortion. He would do that. This is what they're saying. Like, no matter how bad prices got for gas, with the relations with other countries, it doesn't matter if Trump bombs power plants or bridges or threatens genocide. He's all about. It doesn't matter. 90 million people could die in Iran as long as like a million white fetuses don't get aborted. What up, Kobe?
Hey, Pickles. I think you and Covey were having a good conversation a couple nights ago. It was just a little bit incorrect. I feel like people like Covey and Pickles, you have good intentions, but you will be weaponized. So, for example, people like Jussie Smollett, you're familiar with Jussie Smollett's situation.
Am I?
Sorry about that. Sorry.
How do you spell that last name?
Yeah, okay, Jussie Smollett. It was 2019. 2019. What Jussie Smollett did, he lied, and he basically said that these MAGA people attacked him and beat him up in the middle of the night. Then it came out all these blacks and creators and famous black supporters rallied behind him, and it came out he was lying, and he was criminally charged.
Mm-hmm. We have one of those for y'all last year too. It was a woman who faked a kidnapping and hired somebody that did scarification to like cut her up, and she feigned the whole thing, and they found everything down to on her phone a Google search for zip ties near me, and it was all staged. So same thing.
Wait,
Wait,
hold
why
on a
was
second.
I? Why was
Yeah.
that mentioned? I'm confused.
Yeah, so I give Covey credit because I do think that every time she speaks, she makes good points. But I just had to point out a flaw in her position. Respectfully.
What flaw? Please to cough up your lungs when you're doing that. But anyways, yeah, what flaw?
Let me mute. Give me one. I didn't expect Pickles to.
Hey,
to
give
pull
it a
me
good
up,
cough.
so
Give it a good one. Go ahead.
I could mute you. I'll mute my.
Go for it. Go. How are you doing, Kobe?
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Now, I was literally in the middle of smoking a cigarette, and then you pulled me up, Pickle, so I didn't expect to get pulled up so soon. So it caught me off guard. But yeah, if you guys are familiar with Jesse Smollett, basically he lied and said that he was a victim of a racist hate crime. And it turns out that Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, all these powerful black people got behind him. He got the entire black population behind him. And then come to find out, he lied and he staged the whole thing and he was criminally charged. So I'm just saying that people like, Covey and Pickles, when you can be weaponized as part of the army to fight that war.
Same thing. So here's y'all's version up here. This is a woman faking being zip tied and kidnapped and dropped off in her front yard. And it literally just shows on her phone, zip ties near me. The same zip ties were found in her trunk, like a brand new package of them. She faked the whole thing. Natalie Green, 26. She was a Republican staffer. She was released on a $200,000 bond. Yeah, you guys are just as silly.
No, I understand that, but I'm going to say that.
But how can we? I'm still kind of confused as to how we can be weaponized.
Yeah, so you're very strong and support, and when it comes to race and inequality, which is good. Obviously, no one's against that. But I'm saying that can be used by bad people with bad intentions, like Jussie Smollett. Does that make sense? Does that am I is it tracking or am I not making sense?
Yeah, it's both sides. Both sides.
Two plus 2 is like 7 in this equation. No, it doesn't really make sense to me. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, so in 2019, Jussie Smollett lied.
No, I know who Jussie Smollett is. Can you elaborate?
Well, there's no need to crash out. No need to crash out.
I'm not crashing out. I'm calm. Trust me. Can you tell me how I could be weaponized?
Yeah, so to be honest, you would probably be one of the first because you're so strongly for these causes and you have such good intentions that somebody may, take advantage of that, like Jussie Smollett did. That's a perfect example. Jussie Smollett, what he did. You see how Michelle Obama tried to take his side. Then the other actress, Tiffany Haddish, something like that. I forgot her name, but they were all taken advantage of, and then they ended up looking foolish when the truth came out, and it was embarrassing,
Well, thank you very much for thinking about me and worrying about me for Yeah, appreciate you.
We'll look out for people trying to.
Kobe, do you admit Jussie Smollett was wrong with what he did? Are you not going to even admit that? You think that he was right for what he did? He tried to start turn it into a race war. He tried to start a race war in the country, and he failed, thankfully.
Did you just learn about Pickles? You know what I'm thinking about? You know that one meme of that kid who goes, apparently.
Wow.
He learned that word apparently, so he says it like, well, apparently. Wow. I feel like Rich just learned about Jussie Smollett like 10 minutes ago, and that's why he keeps bringing him up. I'm confused.
It just kind of popped up in my head when I heard the conversation.
Listen,
what were you?
Rich, I think the only people that are interested in doing race war and identity politics is the right. So I would say that you wouldn't be able to really find any leading politicians or top politicians that push any of this stuff, black, white, brown, all this stuff. The only people that say the things that are negative about those people or positive, which isn't really a common, but is Trump and Fox News and all those people talking about trans people, talking about gay people, talking about gay marriage, talking about all this other stuff that nobody is saying anything on our side, but we have to come out and defend them. We have to be reactionary towards it. mostly y'all are tricked into voting for these people who fuck up the economy. Their policies are meant to fuck up the economy in every way. You don't care. These things keep you on their side.
Well, and here's where I'll have to disagree, because you were making a good point, but then you started crashing down, spiraling, you went off the rails. But the beginning of what you said was true. Now, they make policy. They're not trying to fuck up the economy to mess it up, but sometimes that ends up happening. But the intention,
they do it despite
the intention. The intention though is always good. Now it doesn't.
No. I think that's a lie. I think that's the lie they post to y'all. But none of the, like, looking into mass deportation, you've probably heard me talk about it 700 times. Nobody in the Trump administration thought this was good for the economy unless they were just really fucking dumb. Which I don't know which is worse.
I think that well, first off, that I've done some research. I'm a little bit more informed than I was a year ago. They actually take up a few jobs, or actually quite a few jobs in the American job market. So that's the problem, the issue with that. I've done.
That's not real. There's not a finite amount of jobs, dude. That's not a real thing. But this is what y'all do with identity politics. This is Fox News headlines with trans people. This is, you see how the blue? That's Fox News versus Epstein. So this is what they're doing. This is how they get y'all all amped up. Every time Trump does a no-no, they have trans people playing in a poker tournament or in a pool tournament. Like, it's crazy. And they get you guys all hyped up on this shit.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, every time you talk, I just keep on thinking about this kid.
I've never been on live television before, but sometimes I don't watch the news because I'm a kid, and
apparently that's what I kept thinking about when you kept bringing up Jussie Smollett. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow. See, that's how I know that I'm winning the debate, when you guys go for personal attacks, low blow. So
that's not dude. That's above the belt.
Hold on.
Stop it, Rich.
Don't say you guys. Pickles.
That is above the belt.
Actually, Pickles was actually debating you. Okay, I was the one who did. Don't say you guys. Just say me. Okay, because I wasn't actually engaging in the debate. Okay.
I understand. And Pickles, I see what you're saying. Like the graph, you're saying that we weaponize the identity politics too. I just feel like it's both sides. Now I can see what you're saying to an extent, but the Olympics that were recently passed, do you think that was good or that was bad? What they did with the Olympics? How do you feel about that?
What part? I don't know. Like, I like the fact that an immigrant queer girl won a gold medal for us. That's pretty sick.
Wow. I think that we're on the same page. I don't have any hate or any discrimination towards any individuals. No trans, it doesn't matter. LGBTQ, no hate.
No. You can't say that and vote the way you do, because you're basically saying what they're doing on your side is just okay. It's not a deal breaker, which is just bad enough.
I turn a blind eye to certain topics.
That's just as bad. That's pretty bad.
No, not at all. No. Because I'm not an active participant.
No, you are. You're on my live debating me all the time. What do you mean?
No, but like, for example, when I've seen people talk to you and talk to Johnny about the LGBTQ, I just have no comment. So therefore, I'm turning a blind eye.
I've heard you've had some hateful comments for Johnny.
No, that's not true.
I've heard the opposite.
Yeah, no, I've never said anything hateful to Johnny. That's not true. I don't know. Maybe somebody misinterpreted it, but I don't recall.
No slurs.
No, I've never slurred on here. No, never. Somebody might. No, I never slurred.
If you're coughing this much, maybe might think about giving up those cigarettes, buddy. Yeah. Oh,
see, that's more personal attack. That's how I know I'm winning.
Shut up, Rich.
I actually am worried.
Fucking Wario in here, dude. Fucking Wario.
I'm actually okay. Listen, that smoking got you sounding like Steve Urkel. Okay, I'm very worried about your lungs. Okay, I'm actually worried for you. This isn't like a personal attack.
Yeah, no, I understand and I do appreciate it if that's genuine, but people use that as a personal attack. So, and then but that's a good sign. I love it because it lets me know that I actually am winning the debate. Because the substance of the claim, though, is Jussie Smollett. What he did was wrong. Now, Pickles, you said it was both sides. I can meet you
Yes.
halfway. We can meet halfway and say
Yeah.
that it's both. I can meet you halfway on that one.
The thing is, Republicans have no low. They have no low that's too low. They punch down on trans people. They punch down on brown people. They punch down on gay people constantly. It's part of their messaging. And they perpetuate. They allow it to live in their party enough so much that I do debate these people that are very bigoted towards gay people. So societally, it's okay and it's accepted and it's coveted on your side. And on over here, we say no. You motherfuckers can go all the way over there. We're not with y'all. You're not on our side. That is a deal breaker. If one of my friends I'm having lunch with is homophobic, he's not my friend anymore. That motherfucker can kick rocks.
That's where we can agree to disagree because you can turn a blind eye, Pickles. You can turn a blind eye to some stuff.
That's called enabling. No.
Well, because you're not actively participating in the hatred. Do you see where I'm coming from?
No.
You're not actively.
No, that's not. No.
But it is both sides.
No, that's enabling. Absolutely not.
Well, it's not because you're not encouraging it. You're not like hyping them up, but you're just kind of just ducking your head, looking the other direction.
If I was having dinner with my parents and I brought my girlfriend with me, and my parents were talking cash shit about my girlfriend or the way her lifestyle, and I didn't say anything, what would my girlfriend think of me?
Oh, that's a good situation. Say that one more time. I want to make sure I respond correctly.
If my parents were talking down to my girlfriend or significant other or her lifestyle, and I didn't say anything, what would that make me? What would that say about me?
Yeah, that could go either way because if they're criticizing something that needs to be, discussed, then maybe you can take their side. But if they're wrongly taught. But hear me out. I'm almost done.
No. There's a saying. There's a saying in business. It goes, if it's not prevented, it's permitted, and that's what you're doing. That's the thing you're allowing to exist within the social sphere you're in.
So if they're saying shit that's wrong about your girlfriend, then you can maybe step in. But if they're saying shit that you don't disagree with, you see where I'm coming from.
No.
It depends on the content of their claim.
Okay, but if it's a negative claim, if it's a bigoted claim, we'll just say that my girlfriend or something, I don't have a girlfriend, but if I had a girlfriend and she was some granola girl that loved, she was vegan, and they said, well, vegans are dumb and vegans are stupid. I'm just so sick of hearing about vegans. I'd be like, hey, you should not say that around my significant other. That's not nice.
I feel like Rich is trying to give you an easy way out of a relationship, That's like fastest ticket out. I think you'd be single by the end of the night if you did what Rich wanted you to do. Not gonna lie.
I think we've already covered this. I think Rich has already gone through this and is single because of this.
I need to hold on a second. I got a phone call. Give me one more. I got to get off here. I got a phone. Get an emergency phone call. I actually got to take.
Yeah. Oops. TrueStory.com, chat. His wife left him because of his politics.
And apparently, I've never been on live television before.
Yeah. Women, leave your MAGA husbands. It's the right move. This is how they are, even after you leave. They don't change.
That was a bad hypothetical because you're a liberal, and when you talk about liberals, that's true. You take a look at what they've been doing in India and Pakistan, and look, we would have had so many nukes, so many bombs, and thankfully they stopped it. And I said no, you can't do that. And so I had so many people come. up to me. They said, sir, I've never seen anything like this. I said, thank you so much. Look, I had to say that you're a liberal, okay? And what you're doing I think it's terrible. I think what you're doing is bad. And I want to say thank you so much. I want to say make America gay again. Thank you so much.
Christian, I don't know if you meant to come up again. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, hey, I just wanted to mention one thing. I mean, I'm sure you've noticed, but everybody's coming up now trying to save face and do this whole it's both sides thing as if it's comparable, and it's not. The
Yeah.
right is far worse. I mean, it's just gross. They're trying to preemptive strike so that when they get everything, they find out that they were wrong about everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to come back, and they just want to say that they were on the right side of history, air quotes. That's it.
I agree. No matter how bad it gets, the people who do feel gross about their political party, the most you get out of them is both sides right now. It's
Yeah,
stupid.
it's pretty bad. Thanks, brother.
Anytime, man. Hugo, thank you so much for all the support.
Oh, you're welcome, man. No problem.
All right.
All right, see you, bud.
You too.
Hello.
Hello, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, why you disrespecting him like that, man?
Who?
Donald J. Trump.
Why do you guys
I
always...
felt like you kind of have a little disrespect towards him.
Jeremy, if this feels like a character, it feels like a troll. Guys, I can't do it. I'm too puzzle piece for that. I can't do it. I'm too puzzle piece. I can do a better redneck accent. I don't need anybody else to do it. Chad, if you're a Trump supporter somehow and you want to debate, come on up. This is a thing I was talking about earlier.
With a body modification artist that they say she paid.
How do I rewind this, dude? Instagram's so shit.
Green is believed to have been working for South Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew at the time.
Let's play it again.
A former congressional staffer from Ocean City, New Jersey, is charged with staging a violent attack against herself that she claimed was politically motivated. Federal prosecutors claim 26-year-old Natalie Green went through extreme lengths to undergo numerous cuts and getting zip-tied with the help of a female co-conspirator. The criminal complaint says the women called 911 back in July to say they were attacked at gunpoint at the Egg Harbor Township Nature Reserve. Police found Green zip-tied with crisscrossing lacerations and messages written on her body. One was a sexual slur referencing President Trump. The other called a federal official racist. Green claimed the attackers were talking politics, but investigators determined it was all a hoax, finding zip ties and duct tape in her car, as well as text messages with a body modification artist that they say she paid to scar and scrape her. Green is believed to have been working for South Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew at the time.
Imagine having Trump as a racist scarred into your body for the rest of your life because you wanted to stage a fucking silly thing. Like, dude, this is so... Oh, I love that, dude. I love that. Scarred on her forever. Unless she gets more scarification, she probably still has that dude's number. On purpose, chat. She probably prayed before it happens. And after. Trump tattoos are still better. Yeah. Google gave me a Jesse Samonier, which is a tight last name, but it's not Smollett. She did it because her vote doesn't count. Y'all, thank you guys so much for almost 100k likes. Let's get those likes up there, guys. We're at 75k. Let's send this out to more people. Trump supporters, we're still waiting on you. I know you guys are probably tired of getting fucking just steamrolled these last 2 weeks. And with the Strait of Hormuz being clopen, I'm sure you guys have a lot to celebrate. More war crimes threatened by Donald Trump. He's the president of No New Wars, though. So what do you expect? Clopen, is that Dutch? Oh my god, thank you. Sleepy Jellyfish, thank you so much. It's good to see you. Play ESO? No way. Final Fantasy 14 until I die. Or until a better game comes out. Can we call you DP from now on? I don't think I like that in terms of SEO. I think that's bad for SEO. I don't want people to start Googling DP. DP videos. How many daily users on ESO? Whoa. That's actually pretty good. 200,000, 800,000. It's not bad. Yo, I'm excited too. Thursday, Andrew. I'm excited. ESO's on the up and up. I don't know, man. I don't know. This team is showing an average of 11,000, peak of 20K, but that's PC. Why do so few people playing on PC? Pride Cross is coming too. Fuck yeah. Guys, I am going to a movie premiere with Andrew Scott Bell. Andrew Scott writes the music for some pretty sick movies, and he has been so kind to invite me. It's actually going to be in my neighborhood, so that works out. Thursday, we're going to be doing that, and Brett Cross will be there, and we're all going to make out. Lucky. We're all going to tell it Michael Rappaport. Yeah, apparently Michael Rappaport's going to be there. Film that, please. I'll do my best to get some good stuff. I sent him some love. He's hurting today. Yeah. Another shooting today. Unalived children. As well as 4 others injured, including a teenager. They don't care. They don't care. I played golf with him. Dude, Michael Rappaport actually used to be somewhat sane before. I forgot what sparked. I think it was October 7th that sparked Michael Rappaport going fucking crazy. But now he's crazy MAGA. He's lost it, dude. Invite him to the makeout session, ghost him? I should, dude. 8 kids, ages 1 to 12. MAGA didn't care. I do need help. Picking out an outfit though. I might lean on y'all for some help picking out an outfit for this. I thought Rappaport hated Trump. I might need to shop a little. I might need to buy a little something. My tall, skinny ass. So hard to find like form-fitting clothes. Chaps is always an option. I should turn on the phone. All right, I'm gonna turn on the phone, y'all. If you're a Trump supporter, you want to talk, call that phone number. And let me hear it. Oh, someone did just try to call. You're welcome to try again, yo. With Venezuela, Cuba, Iran, Greenland, and Panama Canal, you haven't put it together yet. Hello, is this a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter.
Cool. What do you like about Trump?
Well, I was Bernie Sanders supporters too, back in the day, but he wasn't controlled by the elite billionaires and millionaires, right?
And
what I
Trump's
like
definitely
about
not?
Trump is that he's uncontrollable. He's not controllable, bro. You cannot
Says who?
control him at all. What do you mean?
What makes you think that?
Do you see his tweets, bro? He cannot be controlled at all. He's like
See
a
his what?
landmine. He's not controllable. He's like a landmine. You cannot control him at all. He can do whatever he wants.
I don't think that's true at all. I think that Trump can be easily slayed with money. Like he's selling pardons.
Yeah, whoever. But the thing is, like, when you compare him to Democrats like Kamala Harris and stuff, like he's not a robot, you know. Like he's not a soulless robot who will do whatever the donor class says him to do.
I don't know, man. Like Kamala was going to tax the donor class, and Trump gave them all a raise.
No way. He was just a puppet of donor class, and you know it. Like that's
What
why
do
I
you?
was between
How do you think
Bernie
that?
Sanders and
I don't get how you go from Bernie Sanders all the way to corporate protectionism. That's what Trump is. He just allows corporations to do whatever the fuck they want. Have you heard about the Roundup thing? You know what Roundup is?
No, what is it?
Roundup is a weed killer. It's an anti-whatever. It's a weed killer, and it's found to be linked to a bunch of things like cancer and disease. And Trump did an executive order that basically took it off the blacklist, and it also made it illegal for local governments to warn their constituents about the harms of the pesticide. What does that tell you? Do you think he was bought?
I don't know the specifics of that, but I know that Democrats are also bought. Like, do you know the governor of California?
Yeah.
He's basically a puppet. He's basically a puppet. Like you cannot trust him at all because he is controlled by the donor class, and he's going to be the president. Like he was going to be the candidate for 2028, and
Can you give me like something that's just as damning that shows that they can be bought? Because like I can give you a million. Trump has a whole list of people he pardoned last year that were all fraudsters, like disgusting people that like went and just injected like $2 billion into his meme coin after they got out. Like he's easily doing backdoor deals, and you guys choose to look the other way.
He's doing it for himself, not for a donor class. Like he's rich already. Why does?
What do you mean?
Donor class?
Yeah, of course.
He's rich already.
When you're rich,
what,
it doesn't matter. He's doubled. He's doubled his wealth in 1 year. He's absolutely doing things that are corrupt to make himself richer. He's not just as rich as you can get.
No, career politicians like, let's say, Obama and Kamala, they're all there to fill their pockets, right? But
nobody's done it worse than Trump.
Trump.
Nobody's done it worse than Trump. Trump has made more than every single politician to ever exist in the United States, all together, put together times 2. Dude, literally. He has.
Obama back then was dirt poor, and now he's a millionaire. How?
Because he books
like $100,000.
Yeah, that's normal.
He's getting fucking rich. How?
Yeah, that's normal.
He's serving a donor class.
No, dude, doing speeches is not corruption. Ben Shapiro does $100,000 speeches. So does everybody else. Everybody else that can sell something with their name on it because of their popularity.
Why do they offer $100,000 speech to Obama? Why? Because he's doing them a favor back then. Now they're paying back.
Dude, no, that's a very common price. What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
That's a common
understand
price.
what I'm talking about, right?
That is a common price or something. Obama, no matter where he is on Earth, somebody's going to know exactly who he is. He's very popular. So when you put his picture on a book or on a movie, it instantly goes up in revenue. Instantly. That's why it's worth money.
No, I don't believe that. Because he served his donor class back in the day. Now they're paying him back. That's what. That's what's happening right now.
Okay, or he's just doing speeches.
Yeah.
Trump is selling pardons. Like, I can't imagine something like pointing at somebody who does speaking for $100K, which is common. It's literally the most common like price for anybody, for a public figure to speak. It's $100K. You can take Ben Shapiro.
$100,000 to speak.
Yeah, because no one knows who you are. Ben Shapiro, who's not even half as popular as any politician, speaks for more than $100K per event. Do you know who Ben Shapiro is?
No, I don't know.
You don't know who Ben Shapiro is?
I don't. Yeah, I know Joe Rogan. I'm following Joe Rogan.
Okay, Joe Rogan would easily charge $100,000 for an appearance anywhere.
Even more because he talks sense.
Okay,
right?
Who's more popular than Joe Rogan or Obama? Obama.
No,
Obama could easily charge more than Joe Rogan.
Sure. So my point is, because Trump is not controllable and he is rich. Who can control him, bro? Look at his tweets.
Bibi Netanyahu. Everybody, he will chase $1 even if it means hurting an entire community with cancer. He will do it. He doesn't even believe in climate change. He came out and just said it was like not a real thing, and he gutted the EPA like entirely.
It's not a real thing too. I don't believe in climate change. It's outside.
Oh
like
God.
Yeah, it's like 10 degrees outside. Like, it was really cold back like in Minnesota right now. Why should I believe that? No, I don't believe it.
You don't believe that's your justification for not believing like the consensus of all science? Like 97% of all climate scientists believe that climate change is man-made. It's like it's a joke that you guys don't believe in it.
What about the 2% who doesn't believe?
The 3% are people that have hard partisan beliefs. Maybe they're Christian and don't know how old the Earth is. Maybe they're some sort of weird person.
But they're still scientists, like 2% of scientists.
Yeah, who do you believe? You believe the 3%? They're just contrarians?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think when I look outside, it's fucking cold outside, right? And my entire life, it didn't change, and I think it's a hoax, like to make money, like for the donor class.
That's not a real position. That's not science. You see that it's cold outside, therefore climate change isn't real. Are you shitting me?
Yeah, so like 6 months, it's cold outside in Minnesota, right? I'm from Minnesota.
Oh my God, dude. Dog, we're having the highest highs and the lowest lows year-round all across the country. We're having more hurricanes, more earthquakes. It's measurable. You can't just do this by standing outside. You have to look at all of it.
No, I don't believe it. No,
all right.
Okay.
Well, who do you think would have a monetary reason to convince you it's not real? Somebody who's paid by big oil, like Trump?
Trump? Wait a second. How much did ExxonMobil paid for Democratic candidates last election?
They do both.
How much?
They do both.
Huh?
They do both. The thing is, Democrats won't lie. Democrats won't lie to pave the way for them to start putting toxic ash into our waterways. Trump will.
Are you serious, bro?
Yes, Trump does not give a fuck about. He does not care about climate change. He doesn't care about anything. He's basically just spread his legs.
Sorry.
He's literally posted online. There's a video of him saying this. Actually, I'm gonna pull it up for you. Trump asking billionaires, oil execs for $1 billion. Trump pressed oil executives give $1 billion. Here we go. There's a video of it. He's asking. He's literally telling you he can be bought on camera, bub.
Okay, I'm listening.
And he's doubled his wealth. He made $3 or $4 billion last year. What does that tell you?
He's a businessman. Of course, he's gonna make.
That's corruption.
He's doing business.
No, he's 80 years old. His whole life, he's only made X amount of dollars, and then all of a sudden, when he's president, he doubles it. That's not business.
He was a billionaire before he was a president.
I know. And then he doubled that.
Everywhere in the world.
Doubled it. He doubled it. And guess what?
Yeah, because he was smart. He was
Everything that
smart.
he does, such as mass deportation, that makes property value
Dude, if you're
skyrocket.
not an American citizen, you're not allowed to be here. I'm sorry, but we have laws here.
We can go into that
we have
later,
borders
but I'm
here,
telling
right?
you that everything that he's done in mass deportation has hurt the economy in every sense of the word. He's hurt every single metric in the economy has took a shit and will take a shit, and that's what the projections show from every economist who talks about this.
I support Trump too because he's doing the mass deportations because we have a border, we have like law enforcement here, and they're running a mockery here. Like you can just come
No, they're not.
Country and without you can just walk into this country and there's no repercussions for you.
Okay, it's
like,
a $250 fine.
It's just a Biden era.
We enforce the border just like Trump did. We had the same laws in place that Trump did.
Why did
everything
numbers drop significantly?
Because Trump has made even tourism drop. We've turned into the bad guys. The whole world doesn't like us.
Fuck the world. I don't care about the world.
You guys are being isolationists because your ideas are so unpopular and bad for everybody that nobody wants to come.
Okay, they can stay in their own country. I don't give a fuck.
It's bad for us.
I don't give a fuck about other.
It's bad for the economy.
I'm sorry.
It's good for Trump though. His property values are skyrocketing because he's a real estate mogul.
Okay, good thing for him. He's a businessman. He can earn from it. I don't mind.
Yeah, I know. You're a cuck. That's what that is. You're a cuck.
I'm a cuck. Okay, personal insults coming. Okay.
That's it. You're enjoying Trump fucking up our economy and our society. We are more divided. We are more divided as a country than ever because of Trump's rhetoric, his reckless rhetoric, his disgusting, vile vitriol towards the other party.
Another video when the Haitian immigrant attacked a woman like needlessly with a hammer. He just like.
I know that's called propaganda. You know, when they take singular incidents and they go, the thing you need to pay attention to is this person's document status. You guys are so fucking easily fooled. Dude, how many murders happen every year from illegal migrants, from undocumented migrants?
A lot. One is a lot.
No, it's not.
Because
one is not a lot.
How
many happen as a total in the country?
I don't know, man. I'm not.
I know you don't. I know you don't. I know because you guys are just propagandized. You guys just eat this shit up. 17,000 murders every year, and you guys are chasing after last year 23 murders. If you guys are spending and fucking up our economy in every way to stop 23 murders, I feel sorry for you. You can't figure out anything else? Can't figure out another way to stop murders?
Call the families of these 23 murder.
Call the families of the other 17,000 and tell them that you can't get to the way to prevent their murders because you care more about migrants because they hurt your fifis.
No, I care about everybody here.
No, you don't.
They're not Americans. I am. That's why I want to protect border, unlike you. Like,
we protect the border too. We do just fine. You guys just obsess over it. You're propagandized over it hard. How many people came across during Biden?
Way more than Trump.
Okay, how many?
I don't know the number. Millions. 4
Millions.
Let's say.
You said what?
4 million.
That's actually a conservative number. That's decent. About 3 or 4. How many does Trump say?
I don't know. Millions.
He says 30 million. He says 30 million. That is called stochastic terrorism. He is getting people to freak out for no reason.
He's getting you guys. Reason, bro?
Yes, for no reason.
No reason, bro?
Yes.
Oh
Did you know that Trump himself?
Trump
himself is responsible for more deaths.
Dismissing the problem right now. People are coming into our country.
I don't care. If you're going to put aside hundreds of billions of dollars to save 23 lives, I think you guys are absolutely horrible people. Horrible.
We are horrible people because we want to protect our border. Okay.
No, you just want to protect these people you feel more emotionally attached to that got murdered. When 17,000 people, 40,000 people die every year from gun violence, you guys don't give a fuck about that. You'll never move that needle.
I care.
You don't.
I own guns, but I do not commit I do not commit murders because I'm a responsible gun owner, right? That's what. Yeah, that's my Second Amendment. That's my right.
Did you know you're more likely to just kill yourself with that gun?
But okay, I'm not hurting anybody else, right? That's my problem at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, Your
right?
gun culture hurts people. Your gun culture, your unwillingness to do universal background checks,
That's
red
part
flag
of American
laws.
culture.
You don't care.
If you do not love America, you can just say it, right? But this is
I love
who we
America
are.
more than y'all. I love the
Oh,
Constitution more than y'all. I know the Constitution more than
read
most
the Second
MAGA.
Amendment. Read the Second Amendment then. Read the Second Amendment.
Yeah,
If you
shall
love
not be
America.
infringed. But what about well-regulated militia? What about that part?
What do you mean?
It says well-regulated militia. When are you guys going to start regulating it?
Well, the purpose of the. Do you want to talk about the history of the Second Amendment? Because the purpose of it was to resist against the British. That's why they said
it wasn't.
well-regulated.
That's
militia,
actually not
right?
true. No, it was actually meant to chase down your slaves who were getting away.
Whatever. Right now, the first part says everybody can own a gun, right? Basically.
That's not exactly true. No, it doesn't say gun anywhere.
Whatever. I didn't read the Second Amendment.
I believe that.
Yeah, but it says I can own and carry arms, right? I can bear arms.
Yeah, if you're well-regulated militia.
I am well regulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in Texas. I can go buy a gun at Walmart.
Sure. Yeah.
With no background check.
Enjoy America.
I just buy
America. Enjoy it. If you want to live in a commie country like Sweden, go move to Sweden, bro. Like, this is America. This is how we live. We're not going to change.
Sweden is killing it. What are you talking about? What's so bad about Sweden?
Go live there if it's amazing. I don't care. This is America. This is how we live.
They have the best medical care in the world. They're rated top.
Okay, bro. Then go there. Okay.
Why don't y'all go somewhere? Why don't you go somewhere where you just shoot each other?
This is America. We love our guns. If you don't like guns,
I have pew-pews. I believe in regulating these things. I believe in saving lives. But you guys are so in love with your guns, you don't care about children's lives. I have pew-pews.
No.
You don't care. You don't care. You don't want to do red flag laws.
Of course we care.
No, you don't.
Brothers and sisters, of course I care about human life. We're responsible gun owners.
Mm-hmm. Not everybody is.
I am a responsible.
Not everybody is.
Oh, okay. That it's life. Like, there are criminals everywhere.
It's life.
In the world.
All right. Well, there's undocumented migrants that are going to commit murder just like anyone else, but they do it at a much lower rate than U.S. citizens. In fact, if you're in a room with 100 MAGA, you're more danger than you would be in a room with 100 migrants. You're 2 or 3 times more likely to be murdered with MAGA.
Why?
Because that's what the statistics are.
The statistics. Okay, you just pulled out from your ass. I guess that's.
No, I debate this for a living. What are you fucking talking about?
So if I was like with 100 people, MAGA, like my family, my dad, my cousins, my brothers and sisters, and 100 migrants, hetero or whatever they're from.
Yes.
Okay, so
yes,
I would be more likely to be killed by my family members.
Yes.
Okay.
And raped.
Okay.
Yeah.
And raped. Well, yeah, sure.
You're laughing at the likelihood, but I laugh at the likelihood you think that a migrant's going to do that out of nowhere. Trump says that there's 30 million migrants in the United States, and last year they committed 23 murders. Do the math, Bob.
Undocumented immigrants are in this country.
About 14 million.
14 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those people are not supposed to be here.
I know you're like an NPC. You just keep repeating that. But what you're actually, the truth of it is, they came here entry without inspection, or 40% of them came here on just a visa and they overstayed it. And you're just like, we need to go around and arrest every one of those because they're illegal. Like, that is so dumb. That is so dumb. Did you know that we have
enforcing the law?
Okay, let's test this. Let's test this. Do you smoke weed?
No, I don't.
All right. Do you think that it's horrible?
I don't care. It's a free country. You can smoke it.
Well, actually, it's illegal in this country. It's federally illegal.
I don't know. There are some states where you can
just like a sanctuary city, right? Just like a sanctuary city.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Should I if I win presidency, should I go around to all the red states and arrest every single person that has weed and spend hundreds of billions of dollars on that and fuck up the economy, make all those people unemployed, slow down the trade? We're gonna do fucking stops on every highway.
Freedom, right?
Oh,
I
okay.
believe in freedom.
Oh, now you believe it.
Smoke
But
weed.
But now you think we should chase down people at birthday parties.
Oh my god.
We should chase down people at birthday parties for this, because that's what y'all are doing with migration.
They are criminals by default.
Same with people who poke smut, right? Same with people who poke smut.
No.
Yeah. Federally.
No.
Yeah.
You're just
in fact, it's more dangerous. In fact, it's more detrimental. In Texas, they just outlawed all of the green stuff again, and it's probably just going to empower all of the terrorists on the other side of the border, or whatever. The cartel. It enables them to come back into the market and make more money, which will result in more people dying and more people being trafficked and sex slaves. You don't care. Conservatives don't care.
That's so stupid, by the way. Like when you cross, if you go to Sweden without a visa, right? Let's say you go to Sweden without a visa, and you overstayed, right? What will happen to you? The government will chase you down, right?
No, they won't.
Right?
Nope.
And they will deport you, right?
No, they don't spend more than their own military doing that. No, they think that's cost preventative and stupid.
They will let you live there. Right? They will let you live.
If I make contact with the government, they're not going to be like.
What's the sense of a country then? What's the sense of a border?
So any country that doesn't have ICE at the level that we do is way more sensible than us. We spend $180 billion on ICE, which is more than any country's military. Any country's military on Earth. That's fucking stupid. You guys are obsessed. You're making us poor.
No, we're just enforcing the law.
No, you're not. Same thing with weed. If we do the same thing with weed, you'd be like, oh, no, this is a military takeover. This is military in the streets. We got a military state. This is fascism. It's the same thing. You guys have been so highly politicized on this.
If using weed is against the law, I'm for it. Like I'm not using it, so I don't care. So
all right, for this conversation, now you don't care. What about speeding? Do you know how many people get away with speeding every day?
I don't know.
I would say a lot.
Like I said,
I would say millions. And what are the bad outcomes of speeding versus like undocumented migrants? So 23 people died last year from undocumented migrants. We had 48,000 car accidents with deaths. 48,000.
Undocumented migrants, they're buying groceries, right?
Yeah, which is positive.
Marketplace, right?
That's good.
The demand
That's good.
is going up and the supply decreases, right?
No.
You know, it's demand and supply in economics.
I would love to talk about the economy. I would love to. Do you want to talk about the economy and the effects of mass deportation?
Sure, because right now we have a housing crisis. Because, okay, let's say Eduardo...
And this makes the housing crisis worse?
Dude, they need to live in a house, right? They need to live in a
all right, I'm gonna help you learn. All right, today you're gonna learn. I know MAGA's never Googled this because they just love being mad. But the GDP is going to shrink. It's going to shrink. I'm just going to read it straight from the source because you guys. This is from Penn Wharton, the same college that Trump was the alma mater of. The 4-year policy is going to cost $270 billion before economic feedback, $350 billion with economic feedbacks, $862 billion fucking dollars. That could solve homelessness. That could solve free college for everybody. You guys are insane.
Yeah, just liberal numbers.
Oh, sure. Okay, can you find me? You got a
bajillion $1 million we're gonna lose because
this is from a college. This is from a college. Yes, the economy. Not surprisingly, all aggregate economic variables fall. The 4-year policy reduces.
Who doesn't speak a lick of English? They will. Yeah, it will hurt.
I hear an accent from you. Where is your family from?
I'm American. What do you mean?
Where's your family from?
America. I'm French Canadian. I moved to America.
You migrated here?
Lawfully.
All right.
Yeah, see, a lawful migrant.
Okay.
Lawful migrant. American. By the way.
I want you to find me a good article on how this is helpful for the economy. Just find me one metric that's good when we do mass deportation. I'll just let you do that so you prove me wrong. I'm gonna give you a hint. There's not any. He ran. Hello? Hello, is this a Trump supporter?
Yeah, was calling in. I saw your prompt on my YouTube shorts. I was listening to you argue with the previous gentleman.
Okay. Are you a Trump supporter?
I mean, that would be sort of like a on dependence of the issue.
It's really weird how Trump supporters are real shy about their politics.
I wouldn't say it's not shy. It's like, okay, we're a country that's presented on two candidates. So if you are forced to pick between two candidates, it would be picking the one that you would more identify with than the other. I didn't vote for Trump in 2016.
So why do you prefer Trump over Kamala? Go ahead.
Well, it would be on issues. So it would be starting with the border would probably be the biggest one on that front, the separation of that, and then probably censorship would be the second one.
Ooh.
If you just wanted to start there.
Censorship? All right, I'm going to make a case for Trump being a censorship, and then we'll hear yours, okay? So Trump has made various attacks on multiple law firms, basically take away their access to federal courts, effectively making them go out of business because they are political enemies of his. He's done this to schools such as Harvard and Columbia University. Basically, he wants to control every small facet of any government or corporation that doesn't agree with him. He's also done things such as use the FCC to harass multimedia companies and kick them out of the Oval Office and out of the media rooms because he didn't like them. He calls media fake media. He talks about them being illegal. And I think that he's honestly doing what his good friend Viktor Orban is doing, and he's ready to use the federal government to manipulate the media to be more one-sided or on his side. So your turn.
Well, not to play, because like it's really easy to get into the both sides to do this thing, so I don't really want to like go there. But would it also be fair that the previous administration did do a lot of those things to Trump leading up to him winning the election?
I think that he has said this on TV a lot, but you can't substantiate it. I think that his mentor, his name is Roy Cohn.
So Russiagate would not be the media kind of
correct.
Going along with.
No, that's actually a thing that happened in our government. It's not the media. And that is also a thing that resulted in like 37 indictments. So as long as y'all don't read about it and you just hear Trump say Russia, 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 I'm sure that's what you believe. But this is I'm saying
Russiagate in terms of like, you know, Hillary Clinton being investigated for the Steele dossier and that coming together and realizing that was more likely like a fabricated issue to sort of being pushed into the media, and that
so
once that became
we're finding out that that's not actually the case, and that's the way he wants to frame it. But Hillary Clinton is not the media, and she didn't in any way try to get the media to do that. Also, the Steele dossier was started.
I didn't say that.
The Steele dossier was started and bought and paid for by a Republican. It was basically OPSEC. So they investigate your opponents. They see what kind of harm they can do to you, to your party, what kind of dirt you can dig up. Trump does this to every single one of his opponents. Every single one of his allies have a dossier. We saw J.D. Vance's dossier come out. Someone hacked it and showed it to us. Everybody gets dossiers. So basically, he relies on y'all not knowing much about this stuff to weaponize it. 37 indictments, by the way, came out of the Mueller report. 37. Well, and there was, in fact, evidence that showed Russia was interfering in our elections. And here's another zinger. Do you know who Steve Bannon is?
Yes.
Steve Bannon was part owner of a company called Cambridge Analytica. And he was pursued for illegally giving Russia. Yeah, you know about all that. It's targeting voters in swing states. So I think that's a bigger story than Russia just looking at a dossier that she purchased to see what kind of dirt she could dig up on Trump.
No, I could agree on some of that. Now if you're how you could flip that though would be them pushing or the attempt at pushing illegal immigrants into swing states and then pushing for the right to no ID voting, so then you could
That's
get
also
people that are
weaponized.
getting benefits.
That's weaponized disinformation. So we don't have any cases of undocumented migrants doing any sort of voting at a scale that would ever matter. In every single state where you don't need an IV at the point of poll, you have to register with an ID.
I'm not saying that wouldn't be like a provable issue at the moment.
It's conspiracy.
That would, but no. That, if you would let me speak, and then I'll let you speak. Is that fair?
Go ahead.
Like, I promise I won't interrupt you if you don't interrupt me.
Go ahead.
Okay, so if it wouldn't be the issue for that election, but if you were to move a lot of immigrants into states that would be swing states and then push for those states to not have voter ID laws, that would slowly accumulate to be an issue, that those swing states would sort of be locked into the people that gave them the ability to live there, which would have been Democrats at the time. And
So-
typically you would be loyal to the party that would be the one giving you these benefits. So you would be incentivized to be voting for them.
Okay, so I'm going to dismantle that. First of all, in every single state where there is no voter ID law, you have to register to vote with an ID. Did you know that?
Not in California. It's
Yes, you do.
illegal to even ask them, or it's
No, that's a
illegal for them
lie.
to even ask you.
That is a literal lie. You have to show an ID, and you have to mail it in. You have to mail in a copy. You also have to check something that says, I swear, at the threat of a felony, that I'm a U.S. citizen and I'm legally allowed to vote. Nobody is even stealing a stick of gum when here as an undocumented migrant. It shows the criminal statistics show that they literally don't do anything when they're here. That's bad. It's like so low in crime. All the numbers that we've seen. If you took away every single one of these undocumented migrants out tomorrow, crime rates would probably just go up.
Okay, even if let's just say I concede the point for just sake of like moving the conversation along, because I don't want to like be on the phone for like 45 minutes. But one of the arguments that you had made with the previous gentleman was, I'll steelman the argument, and if I say it wrong, then you can rephrase it to me. But you said deportation is bad, essentially, because the GDP goes down, because the economy would suffer, because illegal immigrants would be being deported. Would that be a fair sort of phrase of your argument?
That's a pretty short paraphrase of it. I would say that every economic indicator goes down. Cost of living goes up. Wages go down for U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens lose jobs when you deport migrants. For every 500,000 people you deport, 44,000 U.S. citizens lose their jobs.
Why would that be the case? I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm asking for...
I can try to explain it to you. I'm sorry that this is the truth, but like think about...
I'm not saying I'm not arguing with you because I don't believe what you're saying. I'm trying to be like...
Here's the real zinger.
Like,
you need to ask yourself, why did nobody ever talk about what the economic repercussions would be of mass deportation? They promised you or alluded to you that was good, but every single metric, no matter what your estimate is, it's down. It's bad. Why would they do that? Why would they lie to you?
Well, okay. Well, the issue is that if our economy is propped up with very cheap labor that can basically subsidize the economy, would you argue that that's better, like getting those people out and being able to like sort of rebuild the economy on not like the backs of illegal labor?
Again, like these people, they make more than minimum wage. If you guys cared about how much people got paid, I think you would just vote for liberals, because we are the only ones trying to push for people to get paid more. And the other thing is, I'm way more of a centrist than a MAGA person. Okay, and again, your answer to your answer Your answer to stopping people from doing labor and being underpaid for it is to kidnap them and send them to third world countries or to prisons in El Salvador or whatever, which I just don't believe you.
No, look, because every issue would be nuanced. So, like, I could agree with the idea of deportation, but how you execute that, I could disagree with. So I'm not like wholeheartedly like whatever, like red MAGA dick, whatever Trump does, let's just fucking ride for that. But there has to be like nuance and execution. Like dropping nuclear bombs on Japan probably wasn't the best way to end the war, but it did end the war and probably saved hundreds of thousands of lives from us or just other European countries.
No.
So, like, yes,
we were literally doing negotiations when we dropped that bomb. We were in the middle of negotiations. Like, that's a lie. That's whitewash history.
Well, I wasn't using that. I'm just using that as like an allegorical statement of like, okay, like I was just trying to find an example off the top of my head.
Okay, so I think that Trump, to the degree he's lied and pushed this issue so much over 10 years and has demonized and dehumanized migrants with Hitler fucking quotes, like horrible Hitler, like this is why your friends or people on the other side, they all talk about this as it's like a no-brainer, but not a single one of them have looked at the actual repercussions of it, or the social repercussions. They don't want to acknowledge the social damage that this has done to our society. And not to mention, he is making us walk uphill through mud to rebuild the economy, like you're alluding to. You're like, oh, well, once they're all gone, we can build an economy on a more solid foundation of just regular, non-undocumented migrants. That is not the answer. Back in 1980, Reagan did mass amnesty, and you guys, or the right, has moved as far right as you possibly can, which is mass deportation. That's as far right as you can go on this scale. That is borderline fascism, like which Trump is taking care of the rest. He is definitely fascist. For you to allude to be like for whatever is going on right now is bad. It's bad. There's no right in it. It's not fixing anything. It is just degrading our society.
Well, a lot of the points or arguments that you or like maybe other people that are making that argument would be very similar to the arguments that people made during or pre-Civil War for slavery. That the North was highly industrialized and the South was not. The South relied on slave labor to basically subsidize their economy to operate these farms, and that the South was arguing that if you freed the slaves, then their economy would tank.
But
that's the difference, similar argument.
The difference is you guys want them to be back in a worse position. Your answer to these people you're considering slaves in this scenario, you want them to go back to a country where they fled from gang violence or people trying to turn their sister into a prostitute and stuff like that. That's what you're wishing on them, and I think it's very short-sighted. These people have families here. They have children here. You're looking at separating them, and these people, they're working on their own volition.
Their responsibility.
Okay, so there you go again. So you've backed away from the humanitarian reasoning, and you're now just talking about like punishment, crime and punishment. And
No.
We can do a mixture. We can literally just make them all legally present. We can give them a pathway to citizenship that required them to be good people, to have clean records, to pay a certain amount of taxes or something. There's a million ways to handle this, but your prescription of mass deportation is bad. It's wrong in every way.
I don't believe that in terms of every single person. See, that you keep saying like people on the right or people like you. Like I am like very barely MAGA. Like in terms of like that is the shoehorn where it's like, okay, well, I was a Bernie bro in 2016. I'm very far from like
you're just easily swayed.
Neocon conservative. Like
this is as conservative as it gets. If you were to map out Trump's policies on a scale that determined your political leanings, he is literally just as far right in every issue you could possibly think of. He's as far right as you can get without killing people. But he's killing people too.
Well, I'm saying for myself, it's the issue is like I'm trying to reach with you like, okay, like I could agree that ICE was not executed very well, but mainly in states that the local state government wasn't really cooperating. But that would be kind of beside the point. Like I could compromise with you that the immigration court system is fucked and that there should be way more judges. And like you said to the previous gentleman, like you said, like 40% of the immigrants are on visas, that the visa's expired, but the only way to get another visa would be to go through the immigration court system, and that's fucked.
And that's
like,
where Trump is waiting for you to arrest you, by the way. Like, he is doing everything, even people who are legally present. He has already kicked out 500,000 people who are legally present. And he's killed 47 of them. They've died in custody. He's sent 200 of them to a prison in El Salvador where you never get out. It's a life sentence and you're treated like a terrorist. None of these people had any sort of court date. None of them had any reason to be sent to a prison like that at all. Some of them were women and they were kicked back to us because they don't even take women. I think that this is far from the right answer. And for anybody to be cheering this on and just being like, I kind of agree with it, is like saying, and I'm sorry for the harsh reality, but it's like Hitler's Germany and being okay with like a few of his policies and be like, listen, I kind of support Hitler. I'm sorry, that's not okay.
Well, it's not, because it's way more nuanced than that. The Third Reich is highly different. He won the popular vote, so he's not a fascist dictator because over half the country agreed
you don't
with
think
that
that
policy and elected him.
Well, he lied about most of his policy.
A democracy can't elect
yes, they can.
A fascist if in 4 years we can get rid of him. Like,
no,
that's not fascist.
That's not true. I don't think that just because you elect somebody, they can't be fascist. And he could absolutely run on fascist principles and fascist rhetoric to get elected.
That would still be a democracy.
Okay, still, seeing him leave, we're doubting that. We're doubting that he's going to hand this over to another free and fair election.
Well, like, I mean, Zelensky literally has declined to have elections. Like, that would be someone who
they're in war. They're being invaded.
The people in Ukraine wanted to hold an election. The people of Ukraine are not fans of the war.
That's some Russia disinformation.
Are not fans of the war.
That's some Russian disinformation. You can't have a fair election when half of the districts that are going to be casting votes don't exist.
I'm just making like an example where it's saying that I'm saying that if 60% of people elect a fascist, let's like, even if I grant you, like, let's say I grant you that Trump is a fascist, okay? Mm-hmm. If he won the popular vote, right, then a majority of the people in the country wanted that to happen, right? But
let me counter that.
We can. Yeah.
Do you know what Project 2025 is?
Yes.
Did Trump say he was for Project 25 or against, or did he say he was not going to do it?
Well, his answers on that were pretty vague because that would be it's sort of like a political hot potato. So it's like he could agree with some of the issues on that, but it would be like sort of like
he's completed
for him.
He's completed 60% of it, and he lied outright about just about everything he promised on his way in. So. And he also demonized 1% of the population, just like Hitler did, to invoke all sorts of rage and fear, and spent $200 million on anti-trans ads. And you know how the poem goes. It's not just about one subsect of people. It's about dividing the country until there's no one left that disagrees with you. And that is exactly what Trump's doing. It doesn't matter how we got there. Hitler didn't get there by being elected.
It does matter how he got there.
It doesn't, because he could just lie and say, like, if Biden turned around and took away.
That's like a fake argument. Any candidate could Like if a candidate says, I'm going to give everyone $100 when I get elected, and when he gets elected, he doesn't give everyone $100. That's not
Okay.
the fault of the people that elected him. That would be the fault of the person who got elected.
Okay. And again, fascism doesn't really have to do anything with how you got to power at all. It has to do with your politics. So it has to do with demonizing people, invoking like this extreme sense of nationalism, talking about lying media, Lugenpress, talking about stolen elections all the time with no proof. In fact, he tried to steal the election when on his way out of office the last time, and he got indicted for it. And y'all don't even know about that because he just spits so much bullshit into the airways.
Are
You
you
can't
referencing
filter through it.
January 6th? Is that what you're referencing right now?
No, I'm referencing something you've probably never even heard of because you're just so full of the cats and the dogs and all this other bullshit that he spouts. You've never heard of it.
Can you describe what you're talking about? You're being very vague right now.
Can you tell me about his indictment that he had in DC?
You're saying at the end of his 2016 term?
No,
Is that
this
like
is
you're saying,
before.
like,
This
his
is
first
before
term?
this recent general election.
Well, I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't. Yeah.
I just don't. I mean, like he had multiple cases going at the same time. One was like based off voters, and then he had like the civil trial for the rape. And I'm just I guess like if you could just tell me what you're talking about, and then
Yeah. So
I guess I could,
in 7 different swing states, he had fake slates of electors, and he had them sign fake letters of ascertainment, and had fake seals on those letters. And he called the Speaker of the House of some of these states and said, "Hey, the election was stolen." And he even tried to get the Department of Justice to sign a letter saying they found evidence of the election being stolen, which we still haven't seen. There's no evidence of that.
oh,
And
okay. You're talking from the Biden Trump election, that when the stole election bullshit. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, on his way out of
I thought when you were
presidency.
saying this most recent one, I thought you were talking about like before he just.
There's
got
only
elected, not,
one
like,
thing
in
you
the
can think
interim.
about, and when I talk about an indictment out of DC, this is the most historical thing that's happened to this country in regards to election fraud, and the fact that half of our country has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, it's terrifying, and it's because
I
Trump.
would highly disagree. That's the most the George Bush, Al Gore hanging men that like are hanging chads, like it's the same things. It's just recency bias. Like if you're like, oh, it's the most historically important thing that happened.
They followed the law at every part of that, and him like contesting the results of that election. By the way, I think Bush wrongfully took that election, but that just goes to show all of this is unprecedented. Like if I had a fake slate of electors and I pushed them into a fucking federal building and told the Speaker of the House, as a civilian, if I did that, I would be under a jail right now. But because it was Trump, because he's rich, and because he was president at one point, he's immune to all of this. And when he came out of the courthouses in every single one of these cases, and when he picked up a microphone, he grabbed it and he said the most inflammatory, unrelated shit I've ever heard in my life. He grabbed the microphone and he would say, these migrants are coming over, they're raping people, they're killing people, and you're not going to have a country left. This is an invasion, and there's 30 million people that came over the border in the last 4 years. He sat there and told y'all this 100 times to a point where it's undeniable truth. I couldn't show you any data to make you unthink that.
If they're undocumented, how would you even know how many illegal people are here?
Dude, I'm so sorry, man. You don't know what undocumented means? It doesn't mean they're ghosts.
No, I don't not know what undocumented means. Well, it's literally in the definition. If they do not have documents, how the fuck are you keeping track?
Dude, are you serious? Okay, so the 40% of the people who are here on visas overstayed, how do we know we're here? They have documents, right?
Okay, but it's the same. It's like when people that are talking about like domestic abuse, and like a lot of domestic abuse is unreported. So like the numbers of domestic abuse rates are swayed because of women not reporting is not included in that rate.
All
right?
you're doing is
So
you're
you would say
giving
that
you're giving Trump the benefit of the doubt so that he can lie as much as he wants. But we have ways
I'm
of
not.
tracking this. We have ways of tracking people. These people do still have to rent houses. They have to apply for driver's licenses in the states that they can go to that allow that. They pay for bills. They have ITIN numbers. I don't know if you know what that is. 100% of MAGA
Yes, I
usually
do.
doesn't. And they pay taxes. And now, the way Trump has handled this, by the way, we're looking at a very low participation rate at people paying their ITIN taxes because of the way Trump has lifted the veil between the IRS and ICE. He has fucked this up all the way.
Well, so a lot of people would vote. Like for me, I didn't vote in the election at all. I did not vote for Kamala. I did not vote for Trump. I didn't like either of those options. I did not like Trump. However, Trump is the president, and your prompt is Trump sucks.
He
So
does
I'm just
suck.
talking to you about that. I did not even vote for the guy. So I'm a 2016 Bernie bro. I would have voted for Bernie in 2016 if he hadn't got fucked over by the DNC. So it's like I am agreeing with you on a lot of these issues. It's the nuance of going giga hard on Trump over some issues, but then being,
Trump is destroying the world economy. We are allowed to punch down on him. He is an absolute disaster. He is a child. He's like 16 years old mentally. That we just heard Kash Patel is on a drunk bender and MIA. Half of his staff is completely unqualified, just 100% loyalists. Pete Hegseth is a Fox News anchor, and he's running the DOW. Linda McMahon's the fucking WWE owner, and she's running the Department of Education. It's a joke. It's a joke for you to pretend, for us to pretend like this is normal is insane. It's rotting away our society. Whatever's happening in the White House right now, whatever's happening in world politics, it's not normal. Controlling the world with tariffs from your desk? That's not normal, man.
Every single president has done that.
Not the degree that Trump has. Not even close. For you to all the same as this is crazy.
It's not all the same. This is not like a whatever. It's that every single, like you could take, like I could make the same argument about Obama with drone bombings.
No, you
or I
couldn't.
could do the same
No, you
thing.
couldn't. Trump increased drone strikes by 430%. So no, you couldn't.
Was Obama committing drone strikes not a negative connotation on his presidency?
Yeah, but and then until Trump came in, you could have had a point. But Trump is 4 times worse than Trump, and he rolled back the transparency laws that allowed us to know how many fucking innocent children he killed. Which we now know he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's openly threatening to kill innocent people.
Well, the way I'm saying is like framing. I was in the military when Jared Kushner went over and signed the Iraq peace deal, and we were pulling out of Afghanistan. I was literally there. And for the time that Trump was president at that time, during his first term, when we had almost zero like soldier deaths.
That's wrong too. That's false. He had 65 people die under his administration, and Biden had 13.
Because Biden pulled out of Afghanistan right when he became president and left all of the weapons and vehicles and munitions there.
You sweet spirit. You don't know a goddamn thing about it. You don't know a single thing about it, do you?
I was there.
No, dude, you don't know shit about it. Just because you're somebody on the ground doesn't mean you know anything about the nature of what happened.
About leaving equipment at Bob?
Yeah. Whose equipment was it, bub?
Taxpayer-funded military equipment.
False. It was property of the ANA. 18. I think it was $18 billion, something like that. It was property of the ANA. We decommissioned it on the way out, and that is standard procedure. And if you were actually somebody who served and left a place like that, you would know that's common practice. So it says Milley, a 4-star general, and says the Abraham
practice.
It is very much common practice. It is.
Every single thing, brother, this is how it works when you're in the military. If you go to the range and you guys shoot 500 rounds, you can't leave the range until you pick up every piece of brass in the grass.
That's not the same thing. When you are in the military and it costs $400 million to bring back a plane that's worth 200, then you leave it and you decommission it.
And just leave it for ISIS or Al Qaeda.
You decommission
or
it. What does
Hamas,
decommission mean?
You would disable it to where it can't be used.
Yeah, that's what they did.
So you can't repurpose it.
So Trump absolutely spread that misinformation to y'all. It will never go away. I have people coming up here every day talking about that bullshit. The Afghanistan withdrawal was Trump's baby. It was his deal. He fucked it up. He released 5,000 Taliban prisoners against the will of the Afghan government. And as soon as they got out, they broke out more people out of prison that were terrorists. Those were the people that blew us up on the way out. Trump fucked this up so bad. He said they would have them home by Christmas, but he was too busy crying about an election he lost, and he didn't get them home. And he left them there. And then Biden had to come in and say, hey, what negotiation tools do we have now that the Taliban was already released? What can we do? We have a ceasefire with them until May 1st. Let's hope we can push that back a little bit without people dying. And he had no cards. He was just left this shithole without a peaceful transfer of power. Trump didn't give him shit. He just left. Yeah, that's what happens when somebody like Trump is in charge.
Yeah, but that's like a con of just being in the Middle East in general, that almost every president since we've been involved with the Middle East has had fumble after fumble. Obama with Syria.
Obama came out and
George
said
Bush.
He regrets Syria. Trump will never come out. In fact, the fact that he paraded these 13 soldiers around and their families during Biden and tried to campaign on them and politicize it is disgusting. It's low as fuck. It's disgusting, dude.
Well, it would just be I could agree with you on like the optics are bad of that, but it's also like, okay, if you're trying to win the most powerful seat in the land, are you gonna do?
There's no low too low.
You're gonna try to do.
Yeah, it's fucking great. It's not that he's just trying to win it. He was trying to stay out of prison because he'd be in prison right now if he did not win presidency. He'd be in prison. He deserves to be in prison. He deserves worse. I think that Trump's
Biden also deserves to be in prison, and his dad pardoned him. Biden pardoned Fauci. Biden
what did Fauci do?
A bunch of people.
So this is the common enemy thing that Trump practiced that makes him fascist as fuck. But could you name me a thing Fauci did that was bad?
Have you read This is Anthony Fauci? Have you read that book? Do you know about anything about Anthony Fauci and the AIDS crisis? And
yeah, actually I do.
Foster homes and killing dogs with fleas and doing all that.
Anthony Fauci is a hero in the AIDS epidemic. Did you know that? He's a hero. Yes.
You've read The Real Anthony Fauci, and your takeaway from that book was he's a hero?
Yes. Yes. Without slanted politics, there's a movie on it too. And you can see that without the help of the government, even when they defunded the AIDS program because people on the right are so disgusting and homophobic, he continued to work on people. Outside of the scope of his approved work, he continued to do it. He kept his fucking head down, and he helped that community. Yes, he is a fantastic person. He's a hero. And the people that demonized him for COVID misinformation is bullshit. And the entire world still maintains that the vaccine was safe, that social distancing and masks work. The only people plugging fucking ivermectin, those people are completely brainwashed. That should be raising questions for you. The people who were convinced to take ivermectin and to disown any idea of getting any vaccine now, we're seeing measles outbreaks. We're seeing things come back that we have eradicated because you guys are so fucking far right and gone. There's no help. There's no medical information. There's no society that you would turn to for the answers. You are leaning on political bullshit all day for this.
It's not political bullshit. I'm bringing up valid arguments of why people would not like Anthony Fauci. Whether or not those things are taken in consideration by you is subjective. But that's what the conversation is.
Do y'all have any medicine now at all? Do you have anything that back your crazy conspiracy talking points from COVID? Do you have anything? Or did you just sweep that under the rug? Because that killed people. 15% more Republicans died from your misinformation.
AZT killed people.
Who?
AZT, the medication, the AIDS medication.
Okay, but now what do we have?
Well,
Thanks to
you're saying
Fauci.
that Anthony Fauci is a hero.
Yeah, he's a fucking hero. Yes, in every sense of the word, and especially in regards to the AIDS.
He helped push a medicine, AZT, during trial period. 1 in 19 people died taking that medication.
Okay, and he made all sorts of progress that got us. I'm sorry?
Did 1 in 19 people die from COVID?
Yeah. We had a
No, they did not.
Hold on.
So,
we had a 9/11 every day with COVID.
And okay, now what was the cause of that?
That is up to your conspiratorial minded, like, weird politics to decide. I honestly, we don't have to litigate where it came from right now, because that'll just get me banned. But what I can say is the next time somebody does some sort of like lab leak or whatever.
I'm not bringing up the vaccines killing people. I was going to say high obesity rates, chronic illnesses, people that had
you're just talking about comorbidities. Still, those people died all the same. Those people died all the same. Those people would all be alive without COVID, right?
It's the same thing with, like, if you get AIDS, you don't die from AIDS, you die because your immune system is compromised and you get pneumonia.
Okay, no one actually believes that. Nobody actually. It's just like saying, if you were to be launched into space, you wouldn't be killed from being launched in space. You'd die from freezing immediately and the vacuum of space sucking you inside out.
If everyone in America was extremely healthy and fit, do you think we would have less deaths or more deaths?
We'd have more, and the only people who are trying to make people more healthy and fit would be the left.
So you think that you are honestly saying that if everybody was healthier and not obese, that if over half our country wasn't obese, that the deaths would have been more than they were?
No, less. What I'm saying is that's not an option. That's not an option. Vaccines are an option, though. That's not an option. We can't snap our fingers and make everybody healthy, but we can give people vaccine.
But the vaccines either barely helped or basically didn't do.
That's false. You were 12 to 14 times less likely to be hospitalized if you got vaccinated. There's no science that back your side.
To do that, how many boosters were based off that statistic? The 17th one or the 18th one?
And this is the culture that is anti-science, anti-intellectual. When you guys make fun of people who believe in science, you're like, how many boosters? How many fucking flu shots have been released since the beginning of the flu? Did you guys make fun of people who get their flu shot?
Well, that would be like once every year.
Yeah.
Flu shot every year.
Yeah. So same thing, right? Do you make fun of people who do that?
I mean, it would just be depends on if you're autoimmune compromised.
Okay, and again, this was such this virus was mutating at such a rapid rate because we had a whole half of the country didn't believe in medicine. So we had to develop more and more boosters. So
you have to develop boosters because the illness itself was changing and the people weren't changing.
That's what's called a mutation.
The bodies of people.
Correct. That's mutating.
Why was it mutating so fast?
Because it was having hosts like you to live in.
I was alive for H1N1. I got that at school. How many H1N1 boosters did I get?
That was not a pandemic.
What describes something to be a pandemic?
Gee, I don't know. Do you think 1.2 million people dying in the United States is enough? That's more than every war combined. That's more than double.
Opiate overdoses. Is that a pandemic?
Yes, and you know what we did? We developed medicine, Narcan, to help people not die. And if you goofballs were propagandized on it, you'd be against it too.
I don't know why you keep saying goof. I don't understand the ad hominem attack because I've literally never called you anything this whole time.
Dude, the people who spread misinformation like you are goofballs. It's dangerous. And that's above the belt. You can take it. You're ex-military. I think you can take it.
I'm just saying, like, I'm like trying to be like a good faith argument and like.
Do you have anything?
Like ad hominems.
Do you have anything in the name of science to show me that getting a vaccine was wrong besides silly things like how many booster shots you got? Because that is a deadly cultural thing that y'all been doing. Making fun of people who wear masks, calling them face diapers and shit. It is anti-science, anti-intellectual, and it's just killing y'all, and it's sad. You have any science?
I mean, from Anthony Fauci's own emails that the masks did not work in terms of
again, this is politics.
The transmission rates.
This is politics that you're doing. Can you give me an actual study that says we made a wrong move? That's saying masking up was the wrong move? There's nothing but studies showing that that's correct.
The wrong move.
All right, someone paid to kick you. Nick, thank you so much for the $40, and I'm over here yelling at this stolen valor clown. We do have other people calling in. This will probably get more people to sign up. Chat, if you want to debate and you're a MAGA Republican and you want to talk, you're welcome to call in. Hello? Is this a Trump supporter? RFK? Thank you for the prairie. There's not a single MAGA. I will sit here. I will give you this $40 I just received if you can find me one thing that sides with the MAGA science. Ivermectin, no masking, anything. I'll give it right now. You got anything? You don't have anything. I want a peer-reviewed study. Rich, don't you owe me $40?
I apologize about the phone call. I had a phone call earlier. But Pickles, all I ask though, but I listened back to the conversation. All I ask is that we stick to the content and substance. We don't have to talk about if my wife left me or what I do for a living.
You know what?
I have a job.
I want to apologize for you.
We just need to stick to the substance.
All right. I'm going to apologize to you. That was personal, and I'm sorry. I was wrong.
I accept it. It's not a big deal, but people they always want to go to substance. But then I think that's a good thing. I think that personal, not substance. But that's a good thing because that lets me know that I cooked in the debate. So it's just
all right. Get the. Hey, don't you owe me $40, Rich Poor? We have another dead person, and the outcomes of the war have not changed. The dynamic of the war, straight from Moose still closed. Do you remember that we made?
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, what was the question you were?
Do you remember?
I was in the middle of coughing, but I seen you were talking. Though.
Do you remember our bet we made? $40. I think it was $50.
We made a bet. I'm unfamiliar with the substance of the bet. I forgot. It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
It said that basically by the following Thursday that nobody, the dynamic of the war would not change at all. We would have at least one more death. Well, the death rates or the deaths have risen. It's not 13. I believe it's like 15 or 18 now. And we're still having a hell of a go at it. We just blew up a fucking cargo ship today.
I have no comment, but I think I do remember we did make a bet. I'm just unfamiliar with the exact substance of the bet, the actual the agreement. We had an agreement. I forgot what the agreement was over though. That's the thing. And again, if I lost the bet, I'll send a $40 gift right now on TikTok. Therefore, everybody would see me pay it. Do you see where I'm coming from? But I'm just not sure what the agreement was. You know. Again, I'm a man of my word, dude. If I lost the bet, I'll pay right now. I'll send a gift worth $50, on TikTok so everybody can see it.
I don't want to put you out of money, dude. It's okay. I'll let it slide. All right.
Well, I got plenty of money, but yeah, I understand. I do understand that.
I don't want you to. I don't want to just spend your grocery bill on that.
But yeah, just real quick, I just wanted to get a clear concession because I listened back to the conversation we had, and I noticed that you and Kofi, you guys pivoted to personal attacks, and then but you never directly conceded. Don't you agree that the Democratic Party will use blacks or gays to push their agenda like Jussie Smollett did? Jussie Smollett tried to do it, but it backfired.
No, I don't. I don't agree that the people in actual political positions have done anything to that degree, and I don't. I also don't think that when Democrats do get in power, even whether they lie or cheat or steal, which I condemn in every sense, when they do get in power, the legislation that they pass is far light years from what the Republicans do. The Republicans do nothing but claw away social safety nets and medical care and food from orphans. The low is never low. Like, I've never even seen such horrible things come from an administration, but there is no good outcomes when a Republican comes president besides for rich people.
Well, this kind of circles back to the conversation we had about a week ago. Sorry about that. About a week ago, when it's not a waste of money. We're redirecting the money to so it's better well spent. So therefore, you can't just sit on like I said, you can't just sit on your couch watching TV, eating chips, drinking soda. You can't just sit on your sofa.
You've been radicalized to caricaturize every single person on some sort of financial assistance to be that. And
I just want
there's far more peace,
productive member of society.
Exactly. You're being less productive than they are. You are counterproductive to anybody moving forward if that's your hill that you're dying on. This is literally this much of our spending, and we will never stop people from taking advantage of it. It's just whether or not you're going to be able to find some peace surrounding that, because I've moved past that. I'm far past that, and we move on to bigger things.
Two things can be true at one time. Two things can be true at once, so we can fix both problems at one time. That's where I'm at. I understand where you're coming from. I feel like we could fix both issues at one time. We definitely
that will never be fixed as long as people have messaging towards that. It's as long as people can just tell you that's happening. Like, I can't even convince y'all that not undocumented migrants don't get all of this free stuff. I've heard people say that they get like $8,000 on a card and all this shit and free phones. You guys have so much misinformation. It takes more time to show you how that's not the case.
Well, I'm actually more informed than what you might think. I've done some research, and you'd be surprised at all the benefits they get. They get like free hotels and all this extra shit. It's actually kind of
those are all documented. Those every single person who gets a hotel.
Pickles, you'd be surprised. Pickles, you'd be surprised.
What's the program that gets undocumented? You did all your research. What program is that?
Dude, you'd be surprised.
Is it the Greg Abbott program where he puts you in a hotel?
Wow. Well, no, Pickle, seriously, you'd be surprised at some of the benefits of the undocumented immigrants get. And then that's the thing, is that also some of the jobs too, also the job market. If there's people here who want to paint cars and paint roofs and paint houses and stuff like that, they take those jobs too in construction work.
There will be less jobs if you deport all of them. There will be less jobs for U.S. citizens. They create jobs.
You'd be surprised. Pickle.
Did you know that undocumented?
You'd be surprised. Pickle.
You haven't done any research. Did you know that undocumented people also like getting their cars painted? So they create a demand for people who need to get their cars painted?
Pickles, you can't sit here and tell me that there's not some undocumented immigrant that will fix your car for half the price, right down the street from where you live. We all know about that. Come on.
I don't know how to how do I go about finding that person?
That's the problem. They're under the table. They're not going to be on Google with a review or nothing. They're not going to have a 5-star review because they're hiding.
This is not a real issue, dude. This is not a real issue. These people create a demand for all these jobs. If you want people to have jobs, you let people come, and they create a demand that these business owners go, oh fuck, I need to hire more people because there's so much more demand.
Yeah, but you're not going to sit here and tell me and everybody listening that there's not some mom and pop shop down the street that's hiring, that might have undocumented workers working under the table,
Yeah,
right down the street
and you're
from
just
where you
taking a
live, right?
magnifying glass. You're just like staring at that. You're not looking at the big picture where they come around and after they service someone's car while getting underpaid, they go and they buy food from a grocery store where a U.S. citizen isn't employed, and then they go pay rent that a U.S. citizen has bought property and rented to them, and then they go buy a car from a car dealership that is a U.S. citizen owned, and all of these things go away just because you can't stand the fact that they're performing a job for less than someone else.
See, and I understand. That's where I agree with you. I can understand that there's some. It's not like it's just 100% a net negative. Obviously, no one's going to say that.
It is 1,000% net negative deportation. That is 1,000% net negative. It's costing us money to fuck up our economy.
Okay, pickles. Let me ask you this: if somebody just comes in your house, right, no permission, but they start cleaning up, they start cooking, they start making everything nice and neat. They're doing a good service, but they shouldn't be there.
They get their own houses. This is not a good parallel. They get their own houses.
You can't disagree with that.
Do they not get their own houses?
Even though they're doing good, and they're cleaning, they're doing the dishes, they're cooking, they're making sure everything's nice and neat. They still didn't ask for permission. They didn't do it.
No. See, this is like, I don't get upset when Oklahomans come and into Texas and take Texas jobs and buy Texas food and stuff. That's the same feeling you should have for anybody. I don't think they're coming to my house. I don't think Oklahomans are coming to my house. They get their own fucking house.
No, but that's the analogy, is that somebody's coming into your house, like without.
It's a bad analogy.
But they're doing good things. Though. They're cooking, they're cleaning, they're making sure everything's nice and neat.
No. What about Oklahomans?
That's your argument.
I don't want I would prefer undocumented migrants, by the way, before Oklahomans. But again, you don't have the same standard for Canadians or Oklahomans or anybody coming from the north and into your house. It's not into your house all of a sudden when it's a white person or somebody who's documented. It's only undocumented people that you consider coming into your house. They get their own fucking house. All of them do, 100%.
I haven't heard that argument about Canadian coming from north. I haven't heard. I don't know anything about that. Borders. I think it's. I don't know if there's a crisis though over there. I don't know. I don't think that they're fleeing anything like. They're trying to flee and come here. I don't know. I'm unfamiliar with that.
All right, you're getting kicked for that one, dude. That's unacceptable. Whatever that was, dude. Absolutely unacceptable, that noise. Absolutely not, dude. Guys, what was that? Yes, that noise bothered me that much, dude. Guys, don't forget to follow the stream. We do these all the time. Is he a real person? I think he is, yes. I thought for a while he wasn't, but I'm almost certain he is. He has to be. He has to be, dude. No. He has to be. He has to be. Bro's been method acting for like 10 years. If that's a character, there's no way. There's no way. It's 70%? No. Because I think that he treads lightly and he has a funny way of de-escalating topics. And I think that's where people start to see like maybe he has like a character. And I think that's just the way he is. He was on David AG. Remember when he used to get really, really mad?
السلام عليكم. هاو ار يو فروم غازة؟ انا من غزة. الله يكرمك يا رب. احكي لهم عنا الله يجبر بخاطرك يا رب يا كريم.
Kovi, are you here?
فروم غازة يا اخوانا، من غزة، اريد المساعدة بليز، المساعدة الله يجبر بخاطرك يا رب يا رب.
He said the B word. Yeah. No, not you, Kovi. Guys, I'm letting this person stay up for a little bit. If you guys want to send him some gifts, he says he's from Gaza. You guys want to help somebody from Gaza? Oh, that's you, Kovi?
الله يكرمكم يا رب، الله يجبر بخاطركم ان شاء الله، ان شاء الله كل نصيب يا رب يا رب يا كريم. الله يكرمك يا اخونا. I love you too. الله يكرمك يا رب. لو ألف نقطة، لو أي شيء أقدر أفيدش الأطفال يا اخونا. الله يكرمكم يا رب يا رب يا كريم.
My heart goes out to anybody in that region that are fucking victims of Israel and their like terrorism. But I just don't think this is the right way to do it. I don't think this is the right way to do it. I use it as a nudge to go donate through reputable channels. Yeah. He's talking to Kobe in chat? It really fucks up my day whenever I see and hear that. I fucking hate it. Have you guys heard? This is everybody needs to see this. I think everybody in my whole friend group has reposted this. But you guys need to see this. This is the most despicable thing I've seen as of recently. AP News did an article and a video.
Sure.
Yeah.
The Israeli military today launched 3 consecutive attacks on 3 different teams of paramedics, all operating in the southern Lebanese town of Meyfadoun. And what we heard from the Lebanese health ministry was that first there was a paramedic team that, as is normal, responded to an emergency call. They were going to the site of an Israeli airstrike where there were wounded people they needed to rescue. And as they were arriving to Meyfadoun, they were hit by an Israeli drone strike, killing 2 paramedics at that site and wounding others. And then the paramedics sent yet another team in order to rescue that first team. And as they were arriving to the town, another Israeli strike hit that team and wounded 3 of those paramedics. So then the civil defense decided to send yet a third team in order to rescue the first and the second teams. They were also hit when arriving to the town. Another 2 paramedics were killed in that third strike and more were wounded. The Lebanese health ministry has condemned this as a blatant violation of international law, saying medical facilities should never be a target under the Geneva Conventions. We're still waiting for comment from the Israeli military on exactly what it was targeting in these strikes. And we know from the past that Israel has accused the Hezbollah militant group that it is fighting a war with in the south of using medical facilities and ambulances as cover for its militant activities. But it has not provided evidence of this. And so far in this war, Israeli strikes have killed more than 91 health workers so far, according to the Lebanese health ministry.
Despicable, dude. You can't, it's indefendable. You can't defend that. Sorry. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
Cool. What do you like about Trump?
He's putting America first, taking over where he needs to take over.
I still haven't got the gist of this America First thing. So like America First was this whole thing that came about when we were sending $300 billion to Ukraine. But now since Trump has like tripled that and just like completely optional side quests.
Okay. He's putting it, let me just say this. Jobs are at an all-time high.
Whoa.
Factories are booming right now.
That's not true either. We have unemployment on the rise. It's higher, like a whole point higher than when we gave it to him. We had net zero job gain all of last year. Net zero. And inflation is up. The whole world hates us.
Donald Trump cannot control the fact that people don't want to work. There's 6.88 million jobs available.
That's less than what we gave him. So like he's fired like 100,000 people from the government. He's put tariffs on the whole world, which has caused GDP to slow and businesses to go out of business.
Well, he has to deal with the war, correct? It's hard.
He has to?
With everyone hating jobs, the workforce is there. The jobs are there. Jobs are at an all-time high.
Jobs are not at an all-time high. That is not a high amount of jobs.
So, how many jobs did we add in March?
Well, we're still gonna wait for the revised numbers. You know how that works, right?
We added 100,000 jobs in March, correct?
That's not entirely correct. Wrong.
Wrong.
Correct.
You're saying that.
The economy's like really bad, actually. I don't know who's telling you it's good.
Added 178,000 jobs in March 2026.
And how does this work? Do you know how this works? Do you know how they calculate that?
How?
They survey companies who have open job positions, and these companies send these preliminary reports, and then there's 2 checks after that, like in the following months. And if you look at last year, where we had 100,000 here and 75,000 there, which is very notably low, it's not a lot. They were all rolled and revised down to 0. He made almost no jobs last year.
Thank you, Zilla, for the dinosaurs. Okay.
So we can wait a few more months, and I'm sure that might be 0, man.
Well, we don't operate off of.
What about last year? Last year he did 0, nothing. We handed him a booming economy. He fucked it up with completely optional tariffs, completely optional war. He's fucked it up. He put multiple $7 trillion dents in the world economy. He's strangling Cuba, by the way, right now. He's threatened to invade Greenland, Panama Canal, Iran.
Thank you, Zilla, for the dinosaurs. Donald Trump cannot control the fact that people do not know how to run businesses properly. The jobs are there. The workforce is there. What does that mean? We've added 178,000 jobs last month, correct? And there's 6.88 million jobs available.
That's an average,
correct?
By the way. That's like when Biden was president, we had an unemployment rate that was a 75-year low, lower than Trump ever had it. And we had 10 million open jobs. So that 7 million number, it's not that impressive. And when he's deporting people, it's also reducing the amount of jobs available for U.S. workers. For every 500,000 people he deports, 44,000 people lose their jobs. For every time he puts on tariffs on countries and punishes his political opponents, even individual companies that he doesn't like, they lose purchasing power and workforce as well.
We need to wait till his term is over. The jobs are there. People would rather sit on the internet and fucking debate instead of getting a job.
It's not really a thing either. Like, so I'm actually effectively working a job and I'm contributing to the economy and society. It's not going to give or take anything from Trump's numbers. The fact that Trump has not created an environment that allows companies to flourish, that is his fault.
So, I have the numbers, and your excuse is we have to wait till see if the numbers change.
All of last year, what about all of last year? Biden added 15 million jobs, and historically, Democrats create 50 jobs for every one jobs Republican make. 50 to 1. That's the real number. Not exaggerating. Why would you ever vote for Republicans to make jobs?
I'm not familiar with last year's jobs, but I'm familiar with this year's. We're adding a bunch of jobs. The jobs are available. Jobs are at an all-time high.
That's not an all-time high. That's not even close to an all-time high. Even if that were 100% true and I gave you that, that is not very impressive at all. Unemployment is up at 4.3 or something. That is far from what we gave it to him. That is bad. That is not good.
Okay, you agree with no kings, correct?
Yes.
Okay, did Biden force people to get the vaccine to work?
No.
Yes, he did.
No, you had an option to just take a test.
No, for some jobs.
100% of them you had an option. 100% of them you had an option to take a $30 test once a week. That was part of the Supreme Court's ruling. That is 100% true. You guys want to be able to complain about it, and that's probably some misinformation you've been carrying around for a while, but it's not true.
Is that Biden? Is that Biden being a king? Yes or no?
No, giving you an option to take a test. No, that's not.
Okay, so how do you think Donald Trump is trying to be a king?
So he's using ICE as a military to go to different cities, mostly Democrat cities and Democrat states, and asking him for their voter rolls and saying, "I'll let you. I will remove ICE if you give me your voter rolls." And he's also going around and suing multiple universities and law firms and states and cities if they don't change laws to where he wants them to be. Right? Like this whole thing about states' rights went all the way away after Trump started to control and micromanage every single aspect of people doing business when it comes to DEI and when it comes to hiring certain types of people. He wants to also control the media. He's kicked multiple media outlets out of the Oval Office. He is absolutely for controlling every facet of our life. And he's also trying to stop. He's trying to stop tens of millions of people from being able to vote by imposing new voter ID laws.
You're such a pivot. You know that.
You're asking me how he's a king. That was a whole smorgasbord of things you could try to debate.
And of course, I agree with his mass deportation. So I do think ICE is doing their job. He's doing what they're paid to do. Correct.
He's tripled the ICE budget, and 70% of the people he's arresting have no criminal record whatsoever. And in this, if you look at Obama's record, 60% of the people he arrested were all criminals. So he is doing something completely different. He's politicized ICE. He gives them full immunity even after they murder civilians. He has got warrantless search warrants. He doesn't even have to have a judge to sign it. He has extended that so that he can spy on Americans. This is unprecedented. He's doing all of this stuff to control at every level how the next election comes out, how cities run their budget, how cities run their elections, how cities run sanctuary cities. Even though migrants in general are a huge positive for our economy, he's eroding our economy and fucking up our deficit to the tunes of hundreds of billions of dollars. He has spent 25% of this country's money. He's responsible for 25% of this country's debt. Just him.
Let me ask you something. You listening?
Mm-hmm.
What is the appropriate consequence for crossing the border?
$250 fine.
Is it being deported?
No,
or is
it's
it
a
getting to stay here?
$250 fine.
It's being deported, correct or wrong?
It's $250 fine. That's it.
So if you're caught crossing the border illegally, Trump is stopping that. He's stopping Remain in Mexico, or he's starting Remain in Mexico, right?
That was a horrible law.
It was a perfect law because, you know,
Can you tell me about it? What did it do?
I know for asylum seekers, they have to wait in Mexico for that to get accepted, I'm pretty sure. Correct?
Not just, so it was people who weren't Mexican. So if you're Mexican, you can come across the border immediately and seek asylum. But if you weren't Mexican, you could wait there, and it created this giant tent city of about 70,000 people. It only affected 70,000 people, by the way. And out of those 70,000 people, 5,000 of them fell victim to rape, murder, sex trafficking, kidnapping, and that is an insane amount in a humanitarian crisis. And if that's your ideal law, then I think you're just a bad person. And Mexico, by the way, said they will never, ever do that again. Supreme Court ruled it unlawful.
1 second. The punishment for crossing the border illegally is being deported, correct or wrong?
You can be deported, yes.
Correct. So we have the right to, correct?
Yeah, with due process, sure.
Okay.
And
the end of that.
what's the punishment for speeding?
Well, it depends on how fast you're going. Right.
You can get a ticket for that, right? Do we ticket every single person? Do we catch every single person who speeds, or would that be cost preventative? Would that hurt our economy?
Well, obviously we don't catch all the people who speed.
I'm not asking you if we do. Should we? Should we spend? How much money do you think it would cost to stop every single person from speeding? And what do you think it would do to, I don't know, commerce?
I'm not sure.
It would fuck it up.
Do you have those
it would
numbers?
fuck it up real
Do you have
bad.
those numbers though?
I could easily imagine, right? Like if we did.
Oh, you can imagine. Okay. So
Can you not imagine? Like 100% success rate at catching every single person?
Off of imagination.
Yes, we do.
Sources and statistics.
We do hypotheticals to test your logic, and that's what you're gonna have to engage in.
We don't operate off of.
Who's we? I do. It's my channel.
You operate off of imaginations.
I operate off of hypotheticals.
Hear that, and the fact that your viewers think I'm reading off of ChatGPT.
Jimmy, are you Christian?
No.
But most of your party is Christian, right? So you think they operate off of imaginary things too, right?
If Jesus was alive, I would
deport him.
Not worship him, even if he was alive.
Yeah, but half of your party, like most of your party, believes in imaginary stuff too. So your party does, in fact, operate off of imagination.
Your viewers think I'm reading off of something. That's funny.
You're reading the chat more than talking to me.
No, I just looked down for a second. But,
all right. So can you not think in your head what stopping every single person who sped at 100% accuracy, what would that do? Imagine you're a truck driver and you're hauling a load, and this happens infinite amount of times a day, right? If they go 1 mile over the speed limit, boom, you're toast. You get stopped. He gets a strike on his driver's license. Immediately, costs of freight would skyrocket because the risk involved, and also the cost of law enforcement would have to be at least like 10 times, maybe 100 times to do that. That would be cost preventative. That would be bad for the country. And there's no country on earth that will ever do that because that is dumb, right?
Again, we don't operate off of imagination.
You're running from this. You're running from this. Okay, you are operating right now.
What's your question?
So you're operating right now off of all these illegal migrants probably being murderers. You're like, what if these people are murderers? This is what you're operating off of, I'm sure.
Lincoln Riley is dead because of you.
Yeah,
her blood
false.
is on your hands.
False.
And I don't know why your
You
chat
guys are
keeps on.
politicized on this. You stop reading my chat. My eyes are up here. All right. How many murders do you think take place every year?
I'm not sure the exact number.
It's about 17,000. Okay. What
In
about all of those
the
other
United
families?
States,
What about all those other families who lost a loved one other than Lake and Riley that had nothing to do with undocumented migrants? What about chasing those criminals down? What about ways to prevent those types of crimes? Do you think it would be more or less expensive than the $900 billion we're throwing at this?
I didn't know we started releasing murderers, right?
Trump
That's what
did.
prisons are for.
Yeah, Trump released a bunch of them, and 37 have landed themselves back in prison.
How did he release murderers?
He released 1,500 people who were J6ers, domestic terrorists.
As I've seen for that, nobody died.
Ashley Babbitt died, and 4 officers also lost their lives afterwards, a lot of them from suicide and problems caused by the incident.
So did he pardon anyone who directly killed anyone?
No, but he did pardon somebody who did seditious conspiracy, and these people were dangerous.
I'm coming with the facts, and you're coming with the imagine. Okay?
No, Trump did in fact pardon these people, and they did in fact 36 of them. More people than you can name that were murdered by undocumented migrants. They are back in jail because of Trump. They diddled kids. They did all sorts of horrific things.
Okay. You just agreed that he didn't pardon anyone who murdered, so I went on that point. But back to
what about the former leader of Honduras who sent like 400 tons of cocaine to the United States? Did that kill anybody?
Did it directly?
Answer's yes. Yeah.
It
the
directly
answer's
killed
yes.
them?
Yeah. Do you think that
indirectly or directly?
Are migrants responsible for the F drug killing people?
Indirectly or directly?
The same directly.
Indirectly, so it's not his complete fault.
Got it. You're right. We're better off with people who ship tons and tons of drugs to our country.
Let me tell you something, buddy. Listening. MAGA 2028. You're not going to be able to stop him. All right.
I think that you just threw the towel, right? That's you throwing in the towel?
I didn't even lose on any of my points because you're operating off of speculation. I'm operating off of sources. Look at this.
I'm the one giving you sources and statistics, so you don't have anything.
You haven't given me any sources. You're telling me to imagine if everybody speeded.
I asked you about crime rates. I asked you how many migrants committed murder last year? How many undocumented migrants?
Too many.
So you don't know?
I know it's too many.
It's not. It's really not.
I don't know why your chat still thinks I'm reading off of ChatGPT.
Can you answer that, dude? My eyes are up here, bud. If you want to talk to my chat, I'll kick you back down there.
No,
how many people were murdered by undocumented migrants last year?
I'm not sure the exact number.
But you're absolutely sure that Lake and Riley, who was in the news for like 3 whole years, right? That's just a piece of propaganda. So 17,000 people get murdered every year. 20.
Lincoln Rally is a piece of propaganda.
Yes. So roughly 20 people get murdered every year from undocumented migrants out of 17,000. And this is y'all's biggest issue. It's sad.
What's your source on that?
I'll pull it up right here. So you don't like the idea that it's only 20?
Before I respond, I need to make sure that's factually correct.
All right. It's right here. Criminal alien statistics, U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Okay? Here's the whole chart of all of the crimes they do. And right here says homicide, manslaughter. And this is the year that Trump said that they're all rapists and murderers. Some might be good people. There was roughly like 11 million of them here, and they committed 3 murders. This is how sad y'all are. And then 23 last year. 23.
You know what all those numbers should say? 0.
That would be very expensive. That's unrealistic. Why would you want to reduce that to 0 before we start shaving down like gun deaths? 40,000 a year? 40,000 gun deaths? You don't give a fuck about that.
First off, Trump did try to shave gun deaths. Do you know what the 2017 bump stock ban was?
Yeah.
SCOTUS ruled
Sure.
unconstitutional.
Right.
That happened following the 2017 Las Vegas shooting, which killed 60. perpetrator Stephen Paddock to use bump
And then,
stocks to kill
and then
that many.
every single year that Trump has been president, right-wing domestic terrorism has outpaced that, and domestic violence and murders from the right has outpaced it.
Do you agree sometimes something that can legally be good can...
Are you asking me to imagine something?
No. Do you agree that sometimes something that can be morally good can be illegal or unconstitutional?
Sure.
All right. His bump stock ban was ruled as unconstitutional, and it wasn't passed, but it was still an attempt to try and stop.
So he didn't really do anything. Listen, the whole culture of the gun culture on the right, and the fact that you guys are unwilling to touch actual gun laws that will save people is the biggest problem. You guys, there's another mass shooting today, 8 children dead. It's disgusting. You guys won't change anything.
I just gave an example of him trying to change it. All right, you just agree sometimes things that can be unconstitutional are morally good, right?
And I guess, yeah, sure. So you could agree that we could start doing some more of that, right? Can we do some more things against 2A?
We can, and I can agree that Kamala did try, right? With that assault rifle, she tried to ban assault rifles, I'm pretty sure, correct?
No.
No? Okay. Well, yeah, I can agree that we can do more, but...
And who's more likely to do that, us or the right?
Well, apparently I'm wrong on her trying to ban assault rifles.
Yeah, she never proposed that.
So I guess, I don't know. Us being more pro-gun doesn't mean we're...
You're gun nuts. You're not just more pro-guns. You guys are completely gun culture's taken over your entire party.
Okay, I gave you an example of Republicans trying to stop gun deaths. Please give me an example of liberals doing that.
Sure, we had a 10-year AR ban from 1995 to 2005. It reduced the amount of gun deaths significantly for those 10 years, and Republican Congress did not renew it.
What number Congress was that?
I don't know. Look it up. 2005.
My point is, the illegals shouldn't be here. Right?
You sound like an NPC.
Crossings.
If all illegals were deported tomorrow, it would reduce crime by 0.00000%. You guys are silly, dude. That is not a thing.
Okay. Again, they're taking the jobs, right?
No, they're not. They're creating jobs.
They're creating jobs, but they're also taking the jobs.
There's not a finite amount of jobs. You don't know how the economy works. There's no economist saying that with...
I told you that there's 6.88 million jobs available.
Mm-hmm.
The workforce is at an all-time high.
That's not an all-time high. That is not anywhere close to an all-time high.
Donald Trump cannot control the fact that people do not want to work.
Yes, he
We've
can.
already been over this.
Yes, he can. He can create an economy that allows more people to work, and he hasn't. He has fucked that up.
If Donald Trump is sitting right in front of John Doe, how is he going to force him to get a job? Is he going to sign a...
I'm not saying he's going to force anybody to get a job. I'm just saying that
just
the second that he's bad at job numbers, you're like, well, it's out of his control. But the second it's good, I'm sure you're going to tell us that it's all him, right?
No, I can agree when I'm wrong.
Are you giving him kudos right now, though? Did he actually make people go get a job?
I can agree. I can admit when I'm wrong. In February, right, we lost 100,000 jobs. But in March, we gained more than we lost in February.
So it evened out. So it's like zero still.
It's a net positive.
It's a net positive for now. And next week after the revisions, it's going to go down to a negative. Just like all of last year.
Again, you're operating off of...
I'm just going off of past experience, man. Trump is not... the Republican policies do not create jobs. They don't.
Okay, well, I can say in the next year, undocumented migrants are going to murder 30,000 people. Oh, but it might happen, so we got to keep that in mind.
Due to our past experiences and data, we know that's not going to happen, but that's the same thing I'm using to make my prediction with Trump.
Trump 2028, buddy. You're not going to be able to stop him.
I don't know why you would want that. I don't know why you want Trump 2020. I mean, like, you want him to be unconstitutionally elected? Are you really a patriot if you're against the Constitution?
The 22nd Amendment.
I feel like that's just antagonistic. I feel like as you're just playing sports teams, you guys are objectively bad for the economy. Deportation reduces the amount of jobs. For every 500,000 people we deport, 44,000 U.S. citizens also lose their jobs. You guys are doing bad. That is a bad thing for jobs. That is stupid. And you're just an NPC. I'll click on you again. You just say, well, we need to deport them. Brainless.
I
Brainless.
agree with legal immigration.
I'm not asking about that. I'm asking you about what creates jobs. It's not what Trump's doing. It's the opposite. He is reducing jobs. The policy you're cheering on is reducing jobs, and the numbers show it, and you're still not willing to tell us that that's the case.
I did tell you there's 6.88 million jobs available. It's 6 million jobs that are.
That is an average, dude. Every fucking year, every month of the last 10 years, even during COVID, that was the amount of jobs available, dude.
I've been the only one to come with stats. And
I gave you all the stats, all the murder stats, all the crime stats. I told you all the unemployment stats.
Asked me to imagine about Lincoln Riley and speeding tickets.
What is unemployment right now? Is it not 4.3 like I said? Is that higher or lower than when Biden gave it to him?
Let me see. Okay, I can agree it's lower, right? But we need to finish his term.
I mean,
you need to. Oh yeah, higher. He needs to finish his term.
No, the things he's doing is actively reducing jobs. That's what that points to.
Buddy. See, I just know I'm right because your chat thinks I'm using ChatGPT and AI.
I don't care what you're using.
That's how they know that I'm coming with the correct statistics.
What did you just read that made you sigh? It was the fact that Biden had lower unemployment, right?
Yeah, I'm coming with statistics.
What statistics other than 6 million open jobs? That's not special. Can you name me a month of Biden's presidency where there weren't 6 million open jobs? I'm pretty sure that's the case every fucking month. That is not impressive.
My point is on that the jobs are there. The workforce is there.
Right? And Trump is doing everything he can to make fewer of those jobs available. His policy is effectively reducing the amount of open jobs. His policies on tariffs are reducing jobs. Everything he is doing is bad for business. The war in Iran, fucking up energy prices. That is fucking up inflation. That is fucking up everyone's business model. He is killing people. He is killing people in Cuba. He is doing horrible things, and he's threatening to do genocide, and you're cheering him on even with bad statistics. Horrible statistics on numbers on jobs.
Correct or wrong, you don't want kings.
Correct.
Okay, but you support a king. Correct or wrong?
Who's the king?
Biden. Forcing people to get the vaccine.
What was the alternative to a vaccine?
Apparently taking a test.
Yeah.
Didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So he's forcing people to take tests. It seems pretty kingly to me.
For a swab of your saliva, doesn't Trump do that to every person at the border? Oops.
I don't know.
Oops. Dude. Yeah, he does.
He swabs people's mouths at the border?
Yeah.
Okay. Joe Biden raped Tara Reid, buddy.
Tara Reid, do you know where she is right now?
In Russia.
Working for Russian state television, right?
Yeah, because
isn't that weird?
Why would that?
Why didn't she stay? And she also perjured herself, didn't she? She perjured herself.
How did she do that?
She lied in court.
Did she lie, or was her story not consistent?
Would those two not be the same thing?
One could argue there's a difference, but I'll give it to you. Then he smells kids' hair, buddy.
Okay, Trump literally is civilly adjudicated for sexual assault. He talks about walking into changing rooms of young girls while they're changing because he owns the place.
Good old E. Jean Carroll.
What about
years later?
What about So how common is it to not report?
I like how in that case there's no damning piece of evidence
other than a dress with male DNA that he refused to give DNA.
Matter of
test
fact,
against
he
it
actually did refute. He actually did agree. It was just
after the deadline, 2 years late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not weird.
There's no damning piece. Therapist notes, not damning. Witness testimony, not damning.
How common is it for someone to not report their sexual assault? You want to Google that? Put that in your computer real quick.
Pretty common.
And you're saying that's just so weird that E.G. Carroll did it for a while?
Okay, so
it's 80%, right?
Common to
yeah. And what did Biden say when Tara Reid came out? He said, let's hear her story. And Trump tweeted 40 times in one night and called her a horse face and not the chosen one. I don't know, but I just kind of believe Biden more than Trump. The Biden that goes to church every Sunday versus Trump who brags about doing this and sexualizes his daughter constantly and stuff like that.
If you can give me one piece of damning evidence from the case, I'll agree that he raped Eugene Carroll. Please.
Okay, so
Precisely.
if he had something to exonerate him, I don't know, like his own DNA, do you think that you would give your own DNA over to exonerate yourself?
It's innocent until proven guilty, is it not?
So
is it not?
So now you have nothing, right? So just because he didn't want to do that?
Until proven guilty. Matter of fact, he did agree.
Didn't he say he never met her and that she wasn't his type, and then he pointed to her and said, "That's my wife, Marla," when it was her? And it was a picture of him and her?
Is that supposed to be damning?
Yeah, it's lying.
That's damning?
Yeah, that's lying, yeah. In a rape case?
Oh my god.
Okay, if I was in a rape case and I said, I've never met this person, and then I pointed to a picture of her and said, that's my ex-wife, what do you think a jury would think?
A jury would say that's not damning evidence to convict you.
Okay, they would say that's a loss of
Is
trust.
It suspicious? Yes. Is
Yeah.
it suspicious?
So-
Yes. Is it damning? No.
What about all of the other things that Trump has alluded to? Grabbing women by the pussy without asking, that he just kiss on them and move on them like a bitch. Is that not just admission?
You talking about the Hollywood Access Hollywood tapes?
Yeah.
What is that supposed to prove?
He literally just says he does these things. He brags about it.
More as a he could, or more as a joke.
No, he says he does. That's what he does. I just start kissing. He doesn't say I would like to. He says that's what I do.
I don't think he said he does. He was like,
Yeah, I don't even have to ask. That's what he says, as if he's done it before, right?
more in a if he were to type of deal.
No, he says that's his MO. That's how he moves. He's bragging about it because he's so rich.
I have to admit, I just like looking at the comments accusing me of ChatGPT. That's how I know I have the right statistics.
I don't think you're saying anything. We're not talking about statistics right now, man.
Active bystander asked to play it, and I agree with them. Can you please play it? Google bootlicker.
Moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it. Whoa. I did try and fuck her. She was.
Hold on, keep playing it.
I can.
This isn't even the correct clip.
I can't. It doesn't even have that alone right there. I think just solves it, doesn't it? Those few words at 6 seconds in. I think that's a slam dunk, right?
This isn't even the correct clip.
No, this was marriages, and I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there, and she was married. Then all of a sudden, I see her. She's now got the big phony tits and everything. She's totally changed her look. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them.
I just start kissing them, right? That's what he does?
I don't even wait. And when you're a star. They let you do it.
They let you do it?
Anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the pussy. Do anything. Pull the ham.
How would he know if they just let him start doing it? Does that mean that he's tried before?
You know what? I'll admit it. I didn't see that first part of the clip. I still think he was saying that as a "if I were to" type of deal.
Have you ever heard of the concept of fuck, what am I looking for? I can show you the evidence, and you just won't believe it. You're just this
show me.
is extremely weird,
show me
dude.
it.
This is really weird.
I'm open to new evidence.
How are you? Hi.
Is that not just him talking about things he does, not just things he wish he could do?
Hold on, I'm open to more evidence if you have any.
What else do you need to know about Trump and his modus operandi?
Trump 2028, buddy.
That's what
You're
I
not gonna
thought,
be able
dude.
to
That's
stop
what
me.
I keep on running, dude. Get those tennis shoes. Get on out of here. Go on and get. Go on and get. Chat W's, if you enjoy these debates, give me a follow. And if you want to support the stream, I have a Cash App and Venmo in the bio. Excuses everything, dude. Yeah. Cognitive dissonance. Thank you. It's like I could show him a picture of a circle and he'd be like, that's a square. Trump told me it was a square. Like, well, here's the definition of a circle. Trump 2028.
Hey, Pickles.
Cecil.
Quick question for you, buddy.
Mhm.
I'm on borrowed time. Katie Porter, Katy Perry, and Eric Swalwell. Which one's the biggest scumbag out of all three?
Probably Swalwell.
Okay. I could see that, but the Porter apparently threw some scolding hot mashed potatoes on her spouse at one point. That's domestic violence, so that's pretty bad too, right?
I still say that's a notch below SA and using your position of power to hit on your staff.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that. Hey, I saw your guy John Kirioku. Is that how you say his name?
Kiriakou?
Yeah. You're never going to believe who was interviewing him.
Tucker?
Sean Hannity.
Yeah.
Man, I stopped watching Sean Hannity when I got rid of my cable a few months ago because my bill was so high. But I was watching a bunch of these John Kirikou videos, and I came across that one. He's a big believer in the deep state. It's not a right-wing fantasy land stuff. It's real deal.
One sec. All right.
Somebody in chat's asking what's the tea with Perry. Apparently, she was rubbing her snatch on some chick named Ruby something. She's a star
Ruby
too.
Rose?
Yeah, Which the first time I saw Ruby Rose in a movie, I thought she was AI because she had so much makeup on. But she's a real person. I found out. Yeah, she threw up. It was so disgusting. She threw up everywhere after the snatch rub.
Yeah.
Anyways, but no, your buddy John Kay, he's a big believer in the deep state. He says Paul Manafort the deep state got Paul Manafort, and they were going after Trump using unfair tactics. He mentioned the 51 intelligence officers were all Democrats. You had to watch that interview with Sean Hannity. It's really interesting.
He's a liberal, though, right?
I've never made that determination. I don't know. I told you a
He
few
says
weeks
it.
ago that I watch him too.
Yeah,
he says.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, with as much as he knows, he still leans to the left. And I think that no matter what you can point to, people being bought and paid for or whatever, if it happens on both sides, if there really is like a deep state, I would still say that the left does everything when it comes to brass tacks, when it comes to writing legislation and performance in the economy and having less people die of starvation or medical care or whatever, the left always does way better, just light years better. The right does things that break our society down, that make us a poorer country, to make us less competent on the world stage. They do everything the opposite of good. So
You know, that's your spiel. I've heard it before, but that's why you're a lefty, because that's what you believe. Personally, I think everything you just said is actually the opposite. It's the conservatives who have the real compassion. Playing make believe with people who are struggling already is.
Georgia, thank you so much for the kick. Hearing Cecil say snatch has made my snatch dry up. So sorry. I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do to make it right? Let me know. I recoiled too. Cecil, you don't say, come on. Cecil, I don't know if you're married, but you should immediately just remove that one from your vocabulary, because that's just not, it's just not the one to use. Cecil, I think you are especially disliked by the crowd who doesn't like your take on global warming. I think that's where a lot of people have a real hang up with you, man. You know, should Beaver, dude, Beaver's not good either. Maybe Cecil. I need a chastity belt. I think I want to wear one too after that. Guys, I slept 15 hours last night. Guys, should I get sushi? Give me that sushi. Closes soon at 9:30. Motherfucker. What's my favorite roll? I eat sashimi non-stop. I will fucking fuck up a bowl of sashimi. Order it now? I couldn't. The fish isn't fresh. Don't eat sushi on Sundays. Sardines are superior fish. No mercury levels. I wouldn't mind trying sardine again. Don't go that close to close. Yeah, no, it's rude. Can't do it. Pokeballs are good. I'm down with Pokeballs. It also just kind of depends, dude. Yellowtail is very superior. I eat sushi every day. Is there anything else that's open? Yellowtail Sushi Bar. Guys, I'm risking my life here. That's fucking tight. Where is that? Should I go? Ooh, I would eat that roll. The yellowtail on top and the jalapenos. That's what I'm ordering right there. That's that right there. I bet that's like 30, 40 bucks. My God. Oh my God. Chat, I'm gonna eat at home. I'm gonna eat at home. I gotta talk myself out of it every day. I'm gonna eat at home. I'm gonna eat at home. Look at this. This is what I'm gonna eat. These are actually pretty good. I just gotta put a little bit of meat in it. They're pretty good. It has the legit flavor of pho. Sorry, starter. Pickle's actually a cat all along. You tell me that's not a cat, dude. She has no idea how to dog. I got those from Amazon. I also put them... Guys, if you want to spoil me with my favorite snacks, my Amazon wish list is on my profile. And I just get so fucking excited when people get things like... I have these on there, I think. I get so excited when you guys do that. Still digging your hat? Thank you, Inked. She did not eat her ice cream. I tried again today. I won't eat it. There's a local pho place. Should I get pho? No, I'm gonna eat my pho. I'm gonna eat my pho. Eat my pho at home. Pickles is 13. Almost 14. What does everybody order at pho? I get the combination pho. I want everything. I want the tripe. I want the fat. I want the meatballs and the beef eye round. Give me everything. Pickles does not do good at the dog park. She just sits there. She sits with the people. She just wants to hang out with the people. She hates other dogs. You also have a Pickles that is 13? That's crazy. Korean barbecue is always a W, but it's just kind of expensive. I would love to buy some bulgogi and just make it at home. How do I not have that? I need to order some bulgogi. Your girlfriend's Korean, Cecil? Nuh-uh. I want to see it, Cecil. I will not share it. I want to see a picture of you and your girlfriend. Jesus fucking Christ. Have I had menudo? I don't think so. Spicy vermicelli? I love vermicelli. I love boon bowls. I love Boom Bowls. Fuck. I think I want to get on my alt account and stream some video games. I think we've had a decent night of debates. Do you guys want to watch? You probably don't, but you're gonna watch me play video games. That's the law. Guys, follow my backup account, please. This is my backup account. Please, please, please give me a follow. I'm going to stream some video games on that. I've been on Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders lost 30%, I mean 80% of their player base over the last few months. That's always like a Crimson Desert has owned my life. I hear it's doing good. Fuck. I'm obsessed with Final Fantasy though. Final Fantasy is my home. I do play Hades too. I play a lot. I played a lot. I probably have a couple hundred hours. I don't know gaming. Why did they all leave? So like, a game has to have longevity for people to continue playing it. So like, I don't know, like Connect 4, that could hold somebody's attention for an hour. And a game like Final Fantasy has like 1 million daily users. There are things to do in the course of 6 months and a year and 2 years. There's things you could work towards, but that are interesting, that keep players' attention. But for Arc Raiders, it seems like the carrots are missing. The carrots are missing for players, and it's just not enjoyable at end game. Or something might be like objectively not great or exploitable, or the dynamic of the game might not feel fair, or there might be like a really big skill curb that allows really skilled players to just really dunk on new players. Like things like that cause issues. I did finish Resident Evil. I need your opinion on Dawn Trail. Dawn Trail was not a good expansion, and the consensus is that it's really boring. I don't pay attention to any lore. I skipped all of it. I skip all cutscenes. I am that type of guy. I simply play for like the really hard content. I really like extremes. I like pushing past content that 1% of the people get to. That's my stuff. Dreamcast. I have tried Warframe. What about GTA? GTA is probably like one of the best examples of a game that has held relevancy for like 15 years. It's like actually really good. GTA was great. GTA's main game, like the single player, just the story, was an actual masterpiece. It was a masterpiece. The acting, the story, it's good. And then, like, the online gameplay, I hear is really good. I haven't tried it. Goat Simulator 3, I hear, is a big banger. Favorite Pokemon game? I was in 8th grade or 7th grade when Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow came out, and it changed my life forever. That will always be one of the best games ever. Final Fantasy VII is probably my favorite game of all time. It came around when I was like in 8th grade. Would really get into birding. I feel like that is just a thing people do at an older age. One of my exes, we went and hung out with some of her like really uppity friends once. and they were all about birds. They had apps about it. They had online things and forums tracking birds. I feel like it's just a thing for people. End game. It's end game for living life. I'm young and 30 and I bird. Some people are ahead of others. It's okay. My dad and I bird all the time. That's dope. I don't hate on it. I mean, I'm sure if I actually learned a little bit about it, I might pique my interest, but I feel like it's Pokemon Go for people who don't play Pokemon Go. Guys, I'm gonna make chicken pho. I'm gonna make chicken pho and then we're gonna do it. That's why I like Pokemon Go. Is like Birdie, yeah. Dude, I remember in the early days of Pokemon Go, there was a website that would show you all the spawns. And one of the biggest hubs in Dallas was in Addison. There's a really fucking cool park in Addison Circle. And I swear to God, there was just like hundreds of people. There's like oceans of people. And you'd be like a Magmar spawned. And you just see people fucking running to like the other end of the park for a Magmar. It was so cool. I used to spoof. Dude, that's okay. That's okay. Call me old, but did I have a Game Boy? We're the same age, Izzy. This is my family heirloom. It will be passed down to my dog when I die. Okay? Where's the gray one? I never had a gray one. I was... One of my neighbors had it, and I was like, it's black and white, that's alright. If you guys like Game Boys, y'all need one of these. This is the best $40 I've ever spent in my life. This is called the R36S. And it has every Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, every PlayStation game, every PlayStation 2 game, every arcade game, every Sega game, Dreamcast, every console. Right here in this bad boy. Oh no. The SD card with the ROMs, I took it out and gave it to someone. GBA for iOS. Yes, I did. I did. Is this thing even gonna boot up? I haven't booted up in so long. I just need another SD card and to load ROMs onto it. It has such a badass UI too. I'll get her back working one day. But you can also get a Wi-Fi module for it too. How about Furby? You can every single game you could possibly think of with a ROM, you can just load it on here. It even has N64. Tamagotchis were peak as fuck. All right, chat. I'm gonna get off. We're gonna get on my alt account right here. Give it a follow, and I'm gonna play some Final Fantasy. It's gonna be really just chill vibes. So if you guys want to hang out, that's where I'll be. I love y'all. I'll see you in just a second.